Greetings and salutations and welcome to Flintlocks and Fireballs, where a handful of mad actors will attempt to survive the turbulent, dreamlike depths of Dungeons and Dragons. I am your host and Dungeon Master Jason Phelps, and I am joined as ever by Robbie Bandersnatch Bellekom, Sam Fulminous Addercatch Burns, and Ellie Voluminous Badgerhatch Sparrow.
I mean, I would like you to define a badger hatch for me.
It's basically like a set is a group of badgers, like a little burrow, but it's voluminous.
I assumed it was a badger's vagina. But that's fine.
It was somewhere else on a badger. But...
Oh, where else on a badger? I'm curious.
The arse.
Good old 15 plus ratings.
I love being an explicit podcast. Imagine if we weren't explicit.
Oh
God, we couldn't cope, could we? Far too rude.
No.
It's been 3.5 weeks since we recorded.
Fucking ages.
Has it been that long?
Yep.
Yeah.
How do D&D?
Props to Jason for not going down the Benedict Cumberbatch route with all that rhyming.
Voluminous badger snatch. I mean, that's the same thing, isn't it?
Badger snatch.
Basically.
It's a new one, yeah.
Yes. On the subject of, not Benedict Cumbersnatch. What? No, fuck! Wow!
Oh, it's
Oh, God! Well, Freudian slips there.
Robbie's not touring anymore.
Yeah.
I'm unemployed.
Oh.
Robbie Watch is officially over.
Yes.
Season 1 of Robbie Watch is done.
Yes.
Yeah.
We hope there's a season 2, maybe.
This week on Robbie Watch, she's over there!
She's in her house.
I already did that, actually, in one of the announcements. But, also, this episode, the players are starting at a bit of a disadvantage compared to the listeners, because you will have seen the episode title and the players have not. And I'm not going to say anything else about that yet.
Oh, God.
That's ominous.
I'm so worried.
Speaking of foreknowledge of what may be to come... This week on Shopping and Succulents, episode 31.
We buy plants.
Aww, sounds lovely.
It's the gardening episode. Speaking of foreknowledge of shopping for succulents, as the case may be, it's time that we ask Future Us, what messages have you from the present? Hello, it's Future Jason here to tell you about dice and troubles yet to come. Let's start with that sponsor message. Libris Arcana offers monthly or quarterly dice subscriptions. Head over to librisarcana.com and for less than $12, just under £9, you'll receive a set of 7 premium dice and 1 randomly selected bonus die every month to sate the will of the die-hungry beast below. This month's set is the Shattered Ruby. That's right! After several weeks and 1 trip up Mount Kilimanjaro, Libris Arcana have finally exhausted the sonic boom and drawn up a new dice set from the still beating heart of the earth. The first of 2 sets before they begin production of their own lines of custom dice. The Shattered Ruby is a miniature dice set, about half the size of a regular set, but with just as much fun packed into their tiny forms of scarlet and gold. Each Shattered Ruby set is of course made from a single ruby. Warning, may not actually be a ruby. Warning, probably not actually a ruby. Warning, Jason is given to telling lies. Which has been lovingly sundered on the anvil of the Titans by none other than Shattered Ruby herself. Shattered Ruby started out in the furious forges of Copper Blazers, apprenticed to a skilled forge master and also to a gem cutter for many years before a brief stint in Boat Murdered. However, after a mishap involving a magma cannon and rampaging elephants, Ruby was sundered, as so often happens, into 7 parts. Her pieces were taken to the frozen fortress of Nist Akath, where harsh discipline and the ice set her once again to a single being. And it is by this process of heat, shattering and disciplined freezing that Shattered Ruby produces the dice that bear her name to this day. Listen up for a spot from our friends over at One Shot Onslaught during the break this episode. We now have a coffee page. You can head to ko-fi.com/Flintlocks and Fireballs. There'll be a link in the episode description. You can just click that. And if you're feeling generous, why not buy us a coffee? Coffee is an ad-free, subscription-free way to give a one-off donation to artists you love with no strings attached, with donation amounts measured as cups of coffee. And if you can't donate, don't worry. We still love you. Our content's free for a reason. But if you can share the coffee page with others, we'd really appreciate that too. And now, back to you, Past Jason. As for you, listeners, hold on to your butts. This episode gets weird. So all of my plants have died except Harriet, who is a cactus.
I mean, that's not
That's
news.
not news. That's just the normal state of things. I'm not a good gardener.
Yeah,
Harriet...
Jason,
a new plant.
Aww. I've had Harriet for years.
Robbie has all the gardening powers for this party.
And very little
in real
garden,
life.
unfortunately.
Oh.
It's very slim. It's about a foot wide.
Oh,
Oh, it's a window box, isn't it?
It's the length of my house, but it's a foot wide.
Oh. Grow as many shrubs and small bushes as you can.
No
I'm
more
going to grow
courgettes
peas
then.
this year. Peas and
Oh,
courgettes
peas work.
is the plan.
Your peas were amazing when you
Yeah.
grew peas.
They're so tasty. I love
They were
peas.
so good.
But I bought a fern in Morrison's.
But yeah, Robbie has all the gardening for this party. Actually, Sam, I don't know if you can garden. Not particularly, I imagine.
I don't make a habit of it. That's more my dad's domain. But
No.
I have a garden.
But Jason, on the other hand, cannot keep any plants
no.
alive.
The things that I touch die.
Yeah, except for Harriet, who's immortal.
Yes, Harriet I have had for at least 5 years, and when she dies, I will be cripplingly sad. Speaking of depressing attitudes towards things dying and despair, it's time for
A long rest.
a long rest.
Please. I mean, actually, I'm fine. I don't know what I'm talking about. You two. Fuck you.
It's time for Flintlocks and Fireballs. Our land stands on the sabre's edge.
Our cities are a powder keg.
Brother chains brother, no one's free. A life on land is short, you'll see.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.
Previously on Flintlocks and Fireballs. The party, after being stranded in the northern forest, the Great Forest, in fact, of Meadmere, trekked for the better part of several weeks, a good solid 2 weeks, in fact, 2.5, to fight, passing through an ancient dead city and down to the court of the mysterious Fey Prince Anwen. After performing 3 tasks, and which may or may not have lasting consequences for the world as we know it, the party were granted access to Anwen's Gateway, a portal that led into the Dreamfold, the land where dreams happen, or at least somehow tangentially related to that. The party were brought there with their guide, Gnomish Tailor, Fighty Gubbenswick, and were separated pretty early into that particular quest, with Fighty falling down a chasm and briefly being Gandalfed, while the rest of the party went into a labyrinthine hedge maze, where they were further separated by a ridiculously prone to laughter Minotaur and shifting hedge maze walls. On one side, Corzin and Scamp met up with an impossible figure, seemingly the form of Stringer Smith, Corzin's old shipmate and serial killer.
Oh, God. And cannibal,
describe him
don't
as
forget
Corzin.
that bit.
And cannibal.
All accurate descriptions thus far.
Which the party had previously very much killed again. Nevertheless, offering to serve as a guide or ally of sorts, Smith, for want of any better descriptor, was able to lead them through several horrifying locales, through what one might call the more nightmarish side of the Dreamfold, in order to try and reach the river. On the other side of the divide, Celestia, unbeknownst to the others, and their adventures unbeknownst to her, had a much less combat-heavy time, but may not have emerged without emotional scarring. After spending some time with the entity known as Jet, a denizen of the Dreamfold, in some way intrinsically linked to the sphere of desire. After receiving an offer from Jet to stay, and being sorely tempted, Celestia elected to pass on beyond the Palace of Desire and down towards the river. All three groups, Celestia, Corzin and Scamp, and inexplicably piloting a gondola and wearing a straw hat, fighting Gubbins with, met back up just as the 13 gongs were sounding that spelled the end of night. The three of you find yourselves rushing desperately towards a shimmering, multicoloured portal, beyond which you can just see what looks like some sort of paved village square, perhaps, with the glim rays of dawn just starting to rise above. All three of you burst through. All four of you. Fighty's there as well. All four of you burst.
5, Jeffrey. Come on.
Let's not forget Jeffrey.
Let's not forget Jeffrey.
As one of us always said, drink every time we forget Jeffrey.
Take a shot.
All five of you emerge. Suddenly, the air going from the actually strangely temperate and slightly spicy atmosphere by the river, that strange river of multicoloured water, and passing suddenly into the cold, chill air of what feels like some sort of high-altitude location. As you look around, you can see there's here and there small, like, drifts of snow over the ground. And you look up and you can see there are mountains above you. There's this whole place, it feels like you're maybe somewhere up in the high mountains, not really clear. There's obviously some sort of valley around you. And you can just make out that there is somewhere behind where the glimmering arch of the portal is, there are deciduous green trees flaked with snow. Signs of some sort of the signs of recent snowy weather in keeping with what you've undergone in Meadmere. But the trees are different. You're definitely out of Meadmere here. And the village here seems to be filled with beautifully quaint but beautifully constructed little cottages with aggressive fretworking all along the beams of wood wherever possible.
What's fretworking?
Where you do elaborate like scroll works and designing into wood, where you carve it into it. So that
cool.
You see it a lot in Bavarian villages. When you think of, if you're thinking of like Sound of Music style, like, you know, up in the mountains village, you're in exactly the right frame of mind here. The houses you can just see in the coming dawn light, which is now rising. The sun is just peeking over the hills. You can see are brightly painted blues and yellows and reds and pinks. There is a statue of a figure in a little fountain in the center. But as you step through, you look and you see Fighty's face pales. He like all the colour drains from it. Oh shit, we have to get out of here. You turn around, the portal, as a ray of dawn light strikes the portal, it winks out of existence, just leaving a stone archway behind you.
What the fuck's wrong? Where are we?
We're in. And at that moment, one of the doors bursts open and you see a baker step out into the street, carrying a basket full of small loaves, and you hear him call, "Wait, visitors! There are visitors!" and suddenly other doors start springing open all around the place, and different people come out, and it's and all these vaguely sort of provincial-looking individuals, like, oh, visitors, quickly! And you notice some of them are bringing little fiddles. Someone has a drum. Someone appears to have an ophicleide. And as the light is beginning to filter down, a figure steps out from behind a building in some of the most bizarre garb you've seen outside of Fighty's wardrobe. A figure, tall, willowy limbed, with a purple velour jacket, cream trousers, a purple and cream waistcoat with floral patterns on, a giant yellow bow tie, an orange top hat, frizzy auburn hair, and a long black cane with a silver head. He grins, he smiles, and he does a flourish of a bow, and then, as the light strikes you, he begins to sing. So I'll come to Jimothy, we have fun in Jimothy, from daybreak until the sun sets. You'll find in Jimothy peace of life in Jimothy, away from all of your regrets. We are not in the Dreamfall, this is the worst place we could be. In our quiet town, we've a cure for your frowns, a place for the weary to stay. On the edge of dreams, everything's as it seems, all is well in the light of day. You'll be safe in Jimothy. Have faith in Jimothy. No need now to worry or fret. By the way, while this is happening, other people are joining in. They're like providing backing vocals. Several people have started a dance routine. The baker has taken his little bread rolls out and is now juggling them. You see a butcher with several cleavers shoved into his apron emerge with 2 strings of sausages on sticks and starts waving them around like streamers. Sing along in Jimothy, can't go wrong in Jimothy. You'll be safe here until the sun sets. And when darkness comes, we'll be safe in our beds. Lock up your doors and you won't wake up dead. What? If you keep in line, there'll be nothing to fear. And when you wake, you'll be full of cheer. In our town of Jimothy, did we mention Jimothy?
Yeah,
he's the founder of this lovely place. And the singing figure gestures to the statue of the fountain, and you can see it is in some sort of white stone, almost a replica of him. Like, the features are different, but it's clearly dressed in the same outfit, top hat, long coat,
jaunty bows,
jaunty bow tie, tied to the cane. By the pact that he made, from the nightmares we're safe, and we live here in comfort and grace. So if you are wondering why we sing this song, it's so while you're here, nothing will go wrong. What? These tunes drive away the despiser of song and keep him where he belongs. So have fun in Jimothy, keep stum on Jimothy. This town is a secret most close. Don't you speak of Jimothy or how to get to Jimothy, or we'll beat you and leave you morose. You notice at this point the butcher is juggling his cleavers and is giving you very pointed looks. Don't go into the woods, they'll harrow your blood. Leave only by light of day. Until then you'll find safety in our friendly town, a place you can work and play. So, and at this point everyone just comes together and there's this big unison chorus. Several brass instruments are playing, including an ophicleide, just going boom, 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 boom in the background.
Fucking hell.
So welcome to Jimothy, you'll have fun in Jimothy, from daybreak until the sun sets. You will find in Jimothy peace of mind in Jimothy, away from all of your regrets. And he just spreads his arms in a wide display. Several people perform poses. They hold them for a full 5 seconds.
I'm just going to lean down to Scamp and Corzin and go, so I'm taking it this isn't like a normal thing on the surface that I've just missed, is it?
And at that moment, everyone breaks out of their freezes, and several members of the band just continue quietly playing while this is going on. While you move on. But everyone, apart from the fellow in the top hat, they just sort of break out their poses and sort of idly chatting to each other about how the song and dance routine just went, just return to their lives. They're like, oh, yes, that was very good. Oh, yeah, I think that went well today.
What the fuck is happening?
Well, this is what I've heard happens when you drink far too much wood alcohol.
Fighty, are you sure we're not still in the Dreamfold?
No, this is the town of Jimothy.
Oh, I really reached my weird threshold about 3 days ago. Fucking hell.
And the figure calls out to you, so, my friends, if you have questions, be sure to ask them of me. I'm sure that I can answer them if they'll make you happy.
Do you always have to sing like that?
Oh, yes, that is my job, to sing and to banter, for my name and title is Jimothy Chanter.
Right. Celestia Stardust, nice to meet you. Why is this happening?
It's a really good question.
Why?
Well, long ago, you see, when this town was founded by Jimothy, there were terrors that came out of that gate and hunted such folks as you and me. But Jimothy was smart, he made many a pact with horrible creatures to protect us from attack. But those only apply to such folk as me, who bear the name of Jimothy. So for those who don't, like you and your friends, we sing these fine songs to keep you safe and sound at the end. For you see, there's a monster that lives there in the wrong. They call him the despiser of song, and there is nothing he hates more than fortune, and of course a happily sung tune.
Right.
Right, that's bizarre.
So, are you in more danger if we're here?
Oh no, you see, we love having visitors. You bring us such comfort and wealth. But we keep up these songs to keep you safe, because the woods are a hazard to your health.
The woods are bad.
Oh yes, the woods are bad. And there's a
And the
song to that
nighttime?
effect.
Is it just
We can't
woods?
keep singing during the night.
right?
Because people have to sleep, they can't keep up with fight. But if you should stay in our lovely inn, nothing will harm you while you remain in.
Right.
Now I regret to say, you can't leave straight away. There's trouble that has rather come to pass. You see, there was a snowfall that blocked the nearby pass, and we are trying to clear it, though it is a pain in the ass, and it may well take the rest of the day. But of course, in the meantime, you are welcome to stay.
Right.
We should just keep talking to this guy all day.
I need alcohol. I
Are you
have a
still
medical need for a drink.
Jimothy directs you, and you can see where his hands follow. He gestures. There is an expansive-looking tavern with a cheerful label written above it, Jimothy's.
Right.
Is everybody here named Jimothy?
Of course, the name you see is what keeps us safe from everything that us would like to eat.
Right.
And do you have to be called Jimothy from birth, or can you change your name to Jimothy?
Oh, you can change your name, but beware of that tract, for the name of Jimothy is a sternly sealed pact.
Fuck.
And once you take it on, you can never take it off. So it's not like a hat that you can just don and doff.
Well, my name might be Jimothy.
Your name
good
is
enough?
Shush. No, your name isn't Jimothy.
Really might
Don't go
be.
down that hole. Doesn't it get confusing though? Like if you have 7 children and all of them are called Jimothy, isn't that upsetting? Do you have identifiers? Are you like, oh, Jimothy with the red hair or Jimothy with the fat ass or whatever?
There are a series of children playing around the fountain, and Jimothy Chanter points to them and goes, oh, there's red Jimothy, there's blue Jimothy, there's Jimothy who can't do his socks, there is a Jimothy who likes to throw all manner of rocks.
We're either the red or blue Jim. I have a question out of character. We're either the red or blue Jimothy, red or blue in any way.
Yeah, red Jimothy is ginger, and blue Jimothy has a really nice blue scarf. You guess it's probably their favourite. Actually, all of the kids are in really nice clothing. Everyone here is in really good clothing. Like, you know,
There's a friend of mine.
it's kind of provincial, but like, you know, like in terms of style, but it's all very well made.
And Jimothy, who can't do his socks, was he named that at birth? Because that seems a little unfair. I don't think many babies can do socks.
What if he learns to do his socks? How will anyone call him down for dinner?
I think that there is some confusion about this information. You see, we get by with a lot of intonation.
Right. What, so you could be Jimothy? If you want to.
You see one person comes by. Hello! Good day! My name is Jimothy!
Fuck.
Jason, you are a treasure.
We should just keep talking to the man. The singing guy the whole time, so Jason has to sing.
Yes, for 4 hours. I'm up for this.
Yeah, Jason knew this when he decided, let's have the musical episode.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So
yeah.
why is the scary monster thing afraid of the name Jimothy?
Well, Jimothy was an adventurer fine who slew many beasts in the day and his time. And there were many who learned to fear him. So they made pacts to make sure that he'd pack it in. And those pacts still stay, although he is gone. For the weaving widow carries the pacts on. She lives in the woods, she keeps us all safe. It's why no one can find us if they don't know the way.
Do you not get tired?
You see, there's a moment where the facade almost breaks. I've been training for this job since I was but wee. And I'm carrying it on, though I am 30. And you see that, like, a couple of the band who are still playing in the background start to retune and change for a more tragic song.
Does he look 30?
He kind of looks kind of indiscriminate. Like he could be anywhere between like 20 and 45. It's kind of hard to tell.
Okay.
He doesn't just look exhausted.
What race is he actually?
Human.
Oh, human. Yeah.
So if these details you're sure you want to know, I'm sure I could sing you my tale of woe.
Yes.
I mean, 1,000%.
Fuck you! Fuck you! I didn't think this through. This is the Dungeon Master singing a song here to you.
Corzin actually does have a question at this point. Like, we've come across certain individuals on our travels whose name is also Jimothy. Does that mean that they were all... Well, they all came from here, or that they are named after here, or what?
Most likely they may have been born here and left, or were given the name so one day could return. But that's the sort of way of all who are from here cleft. We like to leave a path home for generations unburned. He kind of shrugs a little at that last particular half rhyme. But I can sense you're tired. You're in need of good rest. If you head over to Jimothy's, then maybe you can get some fine breakfast of some kind. Maybe a small beer. And don't forget, of course, an extra helping of good cheer.
Ugh.
I feel a bit sick. I have one more question. So, I sing, that's not an offer. What would happen if I sung here? Would it, like, throw off the groove of the place?
On the contrary, you're welcome to sing a pretty song. We always love visitors who are happy to sing along.
If I sung, would I ever be able to stop? Or would that be, like, my life now? Because that affects whether I will or not.
While you are here in Jimothy town, we play all this music so you do not frown. You do not have to sing while you're in this land, but if you cross out, you must be your own band. If you go into the woods at night, be sure to keep song. If you want to avoid fright, for the despiser of song is ever waiting, and music is all that will drive away him.
Well, it's
Right.
a good thing I've got so many fucking instruments then, isn't it, really?
I can play the triangle. I can't play the triangle. I made that up.
Can Corzin do a nature or a history check to see if he has any idea what this despiser of song might
I'm
be?
not even doing
I
it
mean,
because I don't think
like,
I do.
at this point, that's probably an Arcana check.
Alright,
I
Arcana
definitely don't know.
Like, sort of, like, fairy tale style Arcana.
then. Yeah, sure. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's a big fat 7.
You have no fucking idea.
Okay.
You have not the slightest fucking idea what this thing is. You've never,
That's
like,
just
you've only
weird.
heard of the existence of Jimothy. Like, you've never heard about this tradition.
No.
I have another out of character question.
Yes.
Did you make a fucking loop of the Jimothy song on your guitar that you can play for the whole episode?
Yes, I did. While you are within Jimothy, there is canonically a band following you around, not always like, in the same room, but
God.
usually somewhere within audible distance, playing the song, just playing some music to keep the despiser of song away.
Took me a while to peg it, but
Well, that's bonus content dealt with for this week.
yep, that's happening. Oh god. Fucking hell. So we definitely can't leave for the rest of the day because of the snow.
Of course you might need to wait overnight. It's a shame, but I'm sure that we'll set you right.
Okay, I really need a drink.
He smiles and gestures with his cane over towards Jimothy's. You look up and there is actually an exclamation mark after Jimothy's as well.
Wow.
Yeah, on the sign. There it has a painted image of the statue, like, but in colour, looking again pretty similar, but not quite the same as Jimothy Chanter.
I turn to the other two and go, for the second time in a few days, I'm going to say I love singing, but fuck.
Jimothy,
Yes.
just wanted to check. I'm a bright pink person with horns. That doesn't freak anyone out here?
Of course not. You see, you in Jimothy were welcoming of one all, don't you see?
Okay.
He just stops abruptly and stares at you, smiling, as if to challenge you. There's anything wrong with that?
Oh, that's lovely. That's fine.
Well, how nice. That's unusual.
Refreshing.
Yeah. They sing everything, but they're not racist. Swings and roundabouts.
I think I'll take the racism.
To be honest, though, I mean,
I feel
as
like I
bizarre
should
as
be.
this
I feel like I should be fitting right in here, but I'm just scared.
You're feckin' telling me.
Have you
Do you
been?
see why I hate this
Have
place?
you been here before then?
And Jimothy looks at him. Oh, wait. I'm never forget a face. You're fighty. You're the one who drank so much and trashed the place.
Fighty Gubbins, did you get drunk and trash a place?
That doesn't sound like you.
That's completely out of character for me. You're
I'm
right.
extremely
Yes,
shocked.
absolutely.
I'm surprised there still is a Sing in the Woods That Hates song if you were here before.
That's one of the reasons I learned to sing a lot.
Alright.
Still,
Always thought you were quite good for a tailor. That makes sense.
but we are very happy to see a gnome come here. Your kind is always known to bring such joy and trade and cheer. We're always
minute,
welcome to provide whatever you should need. Especially if you bring the wealth of the Dreamfold here, you see. He sort of smiles hopefully, and Fighty goes, just visiting today, not part of the usual trade mission. Jimothy looks a little down, crestfallen. As if he was maybe hoping for a more lucrative exchange with Fighty.
Corzin says to Fighty, is he trying to ape your style or anything? And he just sort of points that there's the top hat, the cane, the tails, and
I'll have you know that some styles persist regardless of time or place.
or was it perhaps what you had to do in order to pay off the damages for the last time you were here?
No, oh, you mean that, and did I do that one? He kind of looks up and down. No, it doesn't quite look like my work. Definitely gnomish work, though, but I don't think that was me. Gotta admit, everything was a bit of a blur.
Yeah, I'm not
Just-
surprised.
Lots of singing. Lots of singing. Vera hates this place, too.
Yeah, she mentioned.
Yeah, she really didn't like Jimothy's for reasons she wasn't going to go into.
Booze. Booze. Please.
You head over
Right,
towards
yeah.
Jimothy's, and you see Jimothy Chanter takes off his top hat, gives you a flourish of a bow, turns and strides away out of sight.
Corzin cocks his tricorn.
Dusty does a little slightly fumbly awkward bow.
You step on through into Jimothy's, and Jimothy's is, in contrast to some of the kind of cramped urban workmen's pubs, this is more like a proper beer hall. It is wide, it is spacious, there are ample tables for quaffing at, although it's actually kept scrupulously clean. There are all manner of people. There actually aren't all manner of people in here in the morning right now. Although you can smell breakfast being cooked somewhere, and there are a number of just little curious little things stuck on the walls, like a little horn, in the sense of a musical horn rather than a creature horn. No hunting trophies actually, but there are just curious pieces of art. A set of little crystal balls which are arranged by size and slightly different colours. Just lots of curious bric-a-brac, and again the whole place is beautifully clean, aggressively fretworked. And pastel, bright colours are kind of the whole in theme. And you can see at the bar, currently polishing a Stein, is in what is basically lederhosen.
Incredible.
A stocky halfling woman with black hair, tawny skin, a well-made tan vest and pale blue shirt, along with this sort of garb. Hair tied back, held in place with a beautiful decorated silver clasp. She looks up at your arrival. Oh, welcome one and all. You've come here to my bar and... Wait, is Chanter listening?
Has he gone? Like,
he's gone. He's gone.
He's gone away.
He's gone,
thank fuck.
Probably not.
Look, so all right. That lot outside are still playing. So, do you mind if I skip the song?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Please do.
Would be great. Fighty, I have a question.
No, go ahead, please. He's already gone to the bar and is pointing at one of the side of the kegs.
Is this place like the Dreamfold? Can I leave if I eat the food and drink the booze? It just felt like it could be a problem.
No, you should be fine. I've drunk the booze here plenty of times.
Great.
And the innkeeper says, "Oh no, don't worry. All of the food and drink here is 100% waking world, apart from the bottles of gnomish brandy, of course.
That explains a lot.
But
So much.
Yes, it really does.
But no. Well, I mean, we export a lot of food to the gnomes. You know, that's kind of what we do here.
Oh, right. So that portal opens up a lot.
Every night.
Oh. Yeah.
It's kind of what
Were you intending for us to come here, Fighty?
No. There's a few other places it could have taken us out. I was just hoping for a random city. Those portals aren't as reliable as Jimothy, but you don't have to go through the singing. Yes, I can understand. Can understand how that might get to you, but to be honest, I've grown up. You know, I've had it for years. I've been used to hearing it for years. It's only while we've got people here. I mean, you're the second group of visitors we've had in. She looks down. You can see actually, you didn't really notice at first, but down at the far side of the beer hall, tucking into just like a full continental breakfast, is another halfling, a lady. Who is, if I grab my descriptions, there we go. Why have I put all of those sheets in the way? There we go. Who, with blonde hair, cut quite short, blue eyes, wearing well-made travelling clothes of a quite fashionable cut, for those of you who are keeping in tune with fashion, and a very small halfling boy, about the same size and probably the same age as Corzin Jr. Again, blonde hair, blue eyes, wearing adorable little travel clothes, including a little woolly cap. The halfling looks up and waves, "Hello!"
Hello.
Hello.
Corzin waves back.
You are come to Jimothy as well, are you?
Yeah.
Not intentionally.
Apparently so.
You came through the portal. No, we came through the pass. She gets up and brings her morning beer with her, and moves over and offers you a hand to shake.
Corzin takes it and then, with his other hand, sort of slaps his forehead. Of course, we're in Seoul.
Indeed, we are in northern Seoul. My name is Elizabeth Sulepont, and yourselves?
Celestia Stardust, nice to meet you.
She shakes your hand as well.
Corzin Horhace at your service.
And looks to you and extends her hand to you, Scamp. Do you shake it?
Yes.
Okay, shakes it. Wonderful. And what manner of dreamfold creature are you?
I'm a... I can't think of anything. What am I?
A terrifying nightmare dream monster friend.
Oh!
I'm the Goat Lord.
Yes.
Well, oh my.
Lady.
I mean, I assume because you're here with a gnome,
then.
you're all right to be here. She looks over to Fighty. Fighty kind of rolls his eyes. They're fine. Everything's fine. Please, he's already finished his first drink. Can I have another, please?
Can I also have one? Something strong, please.
Oh, sure. Are you looking for like more of the cider, or you after some Applejack, or I have non-alcoholic things as well.
Milk, please.
What is Applejack? What does that mean?
It's basically cider that we've distilled about 5 times.
Great. Yes.
Okay, I'll get you one of
Thank
those.
you.
And you, she nods to Corzin.
I've heard in Brighthall they call that Calvados or something.
Well, some of that.
Yeah, I'll go for the cider.
All right. Name's Jimothy, she says, rolling her eyes. Jimothy Appleblossom. Good to see. Nice to meet you.
Apple Blossom.
Yeah, it's a common halfling name.
You don't happen to have a
Brother or anything?
nephew?
I mean, I've got.
Alton?
Alton. Alton. I feel like I had a great uncle called Alton. But
No, it was
I do have
a,
extended family, elsewhere. It's not just. I'm just the one who moved here and decided and took on the name
Why did you
Alright.
move here?
because there's a lot of money here.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you're Jimothy, not Jimothina or anything like that.
It's Jimothy with 2 E's at the end.
Ah,
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, apparently, so long as it's phonetically the same, it still counts for the purposes of the pacts. Elizabeth pipes up. Indeed, that is why I am here. I am a merchant. I brought my son, Henri. Henri, say hello to the people. Hello! He waves.
Hello.
And then gets back to his breakfast. I come here, I buy a lot of the goods that the gnomes trade here, and then, I bring them down back to Seoul, and as far as anyone's concerned, the dwarves make it,
right.
Secrecy is kind of the whole thing here.
Yeah.
Out of character, it's Kion that we're heading for, aren't we?
Yes.
You're Sulian. I'm a bit new to the upstairs bit.
Indeed,
How
I have to
far
say,
is
it's the
Kyle?
first time I've ever met a drow up close.
Oh well. Hello.
Hello.
I'm a drow. How far is Kion from here?
Some distance, about 300 miles, I
Oh,
think.
good.
But she fumbles from in her travel clothes and unfolds a slightly travel-stained map. Here's my spare map if you want. She passes
thank
you a
you.
map. I'm going to put this into the chat for the pair of you.
Thank you.
For you guys, this map is definitely not complete, but possibly by the time this episode gets released, a complete version will go up.
It's complete enough for us. We can see
Yeah,
what
will
everything
will go up with the episode.
is. I know we are fucking miles away, aren't we?
True, but at least we're in the same country.
It's a start. Just, oh fucking shit! Hey, we can track the bitch now, so that's good.
True enough.
Yeah.
Just,
That should help.
The ship might have left by the time we get there. But it's all we've got, so let's do that when we can leave here.
You're heading to Kyle, are you?
Yes.
Good luck with that. There's a lot of instability on the kingdom right now.
How so?
Well, I do not know how long you have been in the Dreamfold, but you are aware that the war is over, yes? The Sundered War with Ossyria? We lost.
What is the current date?
It is the 6th of full frost, which is the date you expected it to be.
Right, okay.
When
away
did
from people for a bit.
when did this happen?
The armistice was declared, I believe it was about the 10th of First Flores. So,
Fuck, we lost a lot of time.
But since then, the armies, a lot of people a lot of soldiers have come back from the war. A lot of them are out of work, and the country, they are saying the king is bankrupt. Last they heard, he was trying to reconvene the convention of estates, which has not been happening even in my grandfather's lifetime. In a way of trying to raise more taxes. Things are pretty bad out there. I would advise you, if you're going to, please, when I will be leaving town myself tomorrow morning, once the pass is clear, and heading back to the capital of Alessant. Travel with me. I have caravan guards. I did not bring them to Jimothy itself. They are in a town at the foot of the mountain. But I would suggest against traveling without an armed escort right now.
Right.
Would the quickest way to Alessant and then to the nearest port be down the river?
Pretty much, yes. We'll want to get across the river, head down to Alessant, and from there either you can head to, I think it is Dupont is the nearest port that you could go to if you wanted to go Caen over the water, or you could go overland. It is pretty much straight south from Alessant from there, depending on the state of the port.
Fucking hell. We've missed a lot.
We're a lot closer than we were.
Still a long way, though.
We've been close before. We've been closer than this before. And then more shit happened. Fuck.
Well,
I mean, I suppose Caen's the last lead we have. So we've got to head there, haven't we? Because you can only track her within a mile, or is it a bit further when you're at sea, or seem better at it when you're on the coast?
when I'm on the coast, it seems to work better. But,
I guess we head there and see if she's around anywhere.
best we can do for the moment. Also, maybe it might be an idea to send a message to both Vig and to Molly to let them know that we're safe. Or
Yeah,
at
we
least
should.
still alive.
Ish.
We should do that. I'm happy to do that.
You,
I mean, I
Heck,
can't
they might
before
have
I've
been picked up
rested.
by now.
I used both of them talking to you and Fighty. I can only do it twice. Doesn't seem
That's
like they'll do
alright.
any more than that in a day. So I'm
An
going to have to
extra
go
day
first.
isn't going to do much.
Probably shouldn't say where we are if secrecy's big in this town.
Yeah, that's what I'll just say. We're in the mountains.
all right. So, you at this point, Jimothy pipes up. So that will be 3 copper for the drinks, but it's if you make it 5, I'll do you some of the breakfast as well. And
Yeah, fucking perfect.
Done.
right, and it sounds like you'll be wanting to stay overnight.
Yes.
So, tell you what, why don't let's call it around 2 silver, and then that will be all your meals until tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'll buy us
stay.
room and food and shit. Why not?
Thank you very much. So if there's anything else you need, we do have a few. There's a general store in town. There's a blacksmith. We're not a big town. In fact, judging from Corzin, you would guess, because you've seen a lot of different towns. You got a kind of an eye for judging sizes. Like, this is a village. Like, there's maybe 2,000 people here, but they, for all that, it is an incredibly wealthy-looking village.
Okay.
So, but nevertheless, yeah, that's it. Sounds like they have some facilities. But yes, basically, do you guys want to do any exploration of the town, anything like that, or talk talk any more to Elizabeth before you head to rest for 8 hours? It'll take you quite close to evening, actually.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
if we did go with you, how long would it take us to reach Alessand?
Well, from memory, 1 moment.
You right?
Yep, the DM has put his map in a stupid place in the room. 1 moment.
The one with distances on it is on the wall,
Yeah.
so bear with us here.
Smart enough to put a map with a distance marker to create a map with a distance marker. Not smart enough to have it next to me. Right. So that would be about that far. Well, accounting for the way that is the river turns, the state of the roads right now, we are looking between 8 to 10 days.
Fucking hell. I mean, this might seem a bit of a suspicious question, but, like, why are you willing to help us? Like, are you just nice? Do you want anything in return?
Some people are, Celestia. It's about time you started remembering that.
I mean...
Shut up.
She shrugs. I mean, somewhat selfishly, yes. I figure it can't hurt me to do a small favor for a gnome. She gestures to Fighty. I do trade here a lot, but otherwise, I'm always looking to help out another halfling. She gestures towards Fighty. Sorry, not Fighty, Corzin.
Can I do an insight check?
Yeah, I do.
12.
As far as you can tell...
10, sorry.
10. As far as you can tell, she seems quite straightforward about this. She just likes the look of you and doesn't mind travelling with you.
Sorry, it's
Can
been
I do
a
an
tough
insight
week.
You can do an insight check as well, Corzin.
Sorry, it's been a tough week. Thank you. It's very kind.
12.
Don't really glean any much more than that. Seems to just want, and like the idea of having company.
Cool.
Get the feeling it's probably quite boring travelling for long periods. I mean, you don't get the feeling, you know that. You know that for a fact.
Sorry, it's been difficult few weeks. People have been a bit weird. Thank you.
You want to talk about it?
No.
That is alright. Like I said, it's very nice to meet Nightmare Goat Demon, Drow. Good to see another halfling. I didn't expect to... I mean, obviously, she gestures towards Jimothy. Yes, I'm not in fact chopped liver. But, Henri, you see the small boy has walked up and is squinting at you, Scamp.
Hello.
You're pink.
You're not.
You look like a flower.
You look like a... Oh, that's nice, thank you.
He walks over and just starts hugging your leg.
Ah!
No, that's a good thing.
Why don't more people react like this to pink
You
people?
do not feel like a flower. He steps away.
I've got a monkey. Do you want to see my monkey?
Oh, monkey! Monkey! Gonna roll an animal handling check for Henri.
Children always do so well at this.
Like, after previous experience, Jeffrey is a little reticent, but after a certain amount of what's the word I'm looking for? Not beseeching.
Cooing?
Yeah, coaxing. There we go. He does cautiously come out and stops, and Henri starts chasing him around the room. knocks over a couple
In
of
like
tankards.
a fun way, or is Jeffrey upset?
Kind of fun way, as far as you can tell. You're not good at reading animals.
You know, I would have thought children and monkeys would be better friends. I mean, they're both essentially just tiny, weird people, aren't they?
Well, you say that, but I'm not quite sure that...
You don't count.
He sort of gives you, like, mock evils.
I stick my tongue out at him.
Corzin shrugs and looks at the unfolding scene in front of them and says, well...
You see Jimothy has emerged from the bar and is now desperately trying to stop various items of crockery getting broken, just mostly by removing them out of their way. He's like, no, not that! Oh, bloody hell.
Oh, I have a question. Jimothy Apple Blossom. There we go, I remembered.
Hello? Yes, what is it?
I was just wondering, do you only have to sing when there are guests here, or do you do it all the time?
Oh, no, we only have to when people are around. Like, sometimes we do just to keep up the practice, but...
Right.
Like...
So you probably, like, fucking hate guests, don't you?
No, it's nice. It's, it adds a bit of colour.
I look around at the, like, rainbow room that we're standing in pointedly, like... Right. Sorry, I was just wondering. Carry on, by all means.
Right, she carries on trying to rescue her various belongings from monkey and child-based interruption.
He seems to be doing better at it than little Corzin was.
What do we even do now? I mean, you two look fogged.
I need a nap.
Right.
I think we all need a nap, but for now, I think we've got to take the opportunity to rest, recuperate, and get back on our feet.
Do we need anything shopping-wise? Like, we haven't been near a shop in a really long time.
I could really do with eating something that wasn't lean meat.
Yeah, no more elk.
Something that's not protein would be amazing. Like vegetables and carbohydrates and shit.
At this point, Jimothy, having managed to wrangle everything, returns to the unseen cook, who's presumably also called Jimothy, and emerges with just a... I mean, it occurs to me that this is probably something which Celestia has never seen before. She returns with what are functionally potato waffles. Potato waffles, bacon, sausages, chutneys.
This food is fucking square. Does this happen a lot on the surface? Have I missed this?
Try it.
I've
you'll
never
like
seen
it.
square food. This looks incredible.
There's a small jar of syrup.
This is even more exciting than the fucking pretzels were. Oh my god. Yes.
You duck it, you dig in, and it is... Oh, it beats mushrooms.
Oh, it's not elk. It's not elk.
It's so not elk.
Corzin is halfway through his by the time you've said this.
It's actually you've made do with prestidigitation spices for so many days now that the taste of actual cooking.
Oh, maybe we'll be able to have a poo that isn't terrible.
Yeah.
An untraumatic poo would be an absolute luxury.
Outhouse is via the back door.
Yeah, actually, have we got any roughage? Are there like beans or
At your request, she does you baked beans
yeah,
Incredible.
and mushrooms.
yeah.
It's like fried with a bit of garlic.
I suppose we're a bit too early for bran, aren't we?
You want that roughage? Have bread. There's bread as well.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Apparently, those 2 silver pieces are actually going a fair way.
Yeah.
And this, listeners, is the sort of high-quality content you listen to us for, I'm sure.
Yep.
I'm really hungry
Breakfast
now.
suggestions.
I'm so hungry.
Alright.
I mean, does anyone need anything from the shops? Like, how are we doing? I might buy some more whiskey. I'm running a bit low after the last few weeks.
Potions.
proper- Yeah.
Potions would be
And-
really good. I mean, we have a fuckload of treasure to trade.
That's true, actually. In fact, we should see some merchants here about that, because if we can convince them that this is high-quality Dreamfold stuff, we might be able to get above the going rate for it.
I don't think they're thick here.
Well, regardless, it's still good quality, valuable items.
Yeah, it's valuable shit. Definitely.
Yeah, I need some. Oh wait, do I have potions? Did I use them? There's some in my inventory, but it
You
might be because
used
I
one
forgot to
on
take them out.
yourself and one on Corzin.
Yeah.
When did
And
we
we know,
get
'cause I-
potions last?
From the
Wood
Wood Elves. 3.5 weeks.
Right, so
guys.
it's plausible that I have 3 potions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So that's alright. That's
You did actually
fine.
buy quite a lot because
We
they were
bought
available
loads,
at really
yeah.
good
We bought
rates.
loads.
Yeah, like I've got 2, and I definitely haven't used any.
I think I need more
that's-
monkey food.
That's the thing that goes
You
with it. He
check.
needs
That's
ammunition.
point. Scamp, you check your pack for monkey food. You're running low on monkey food, but while you're there, you also check your rations, and they're gone.
Huh. Did I eat them? Did I eat this food and forget I ate it?
I mean, you don't remember eating it, but that's just not necessarily.
I'm gonna see this.
I've got
and
no
look
food left.
I'm gonna look in my own bag.
Your bag's fine. There's all the elf rations that you packed in there.
I've still got food.
Can I eat your food, please? I'm
Yes,
really
I mean,
hungry.
you just had breakfast, but you can have some.
I do actually have
food.
more breakfast.
Have the
bring
hot
out.
stuff. We'll save that for the road.
Wait a
I
minute.
need more rations.
Who's been eating your food? Because, like, not to put too far on the point on it, but you've had the ability to conjure sweets for at least the last day or so.
Fighty, darling.
Yes. You see, Fighty has finally ditched the straw hat.
Didn't you say that Dreamfold creatures want waking food, like a lot?
Yes, the smart one. Oh, sorry, wrong accent. The smart ones do, if they're planning to leave the Dreamfold for any length of time, yes.
Did you...
Stringer Smith's gonna kill us in our sleep.
Whoa,
What? Stringer Smith? What? Excuse me?
He didn't get anywhere near your pack, as I recall.
Rewind, what?
We met
Right.
Stringer Smith again, or
But
something
he
that looked a
was-
lot like him
What?
in the Dreamfold.
I think he was Corzin's dream version.
That's batshit.
Well,
Yeah.
do you remember when we were
Mm-hmm.
helping Vera with that
Yes, the
portal in
nightmare.
Crosswater? I think that was coming through another portal like the one we came through to get here. And one of the reasons she was there was in order to ensure that it didn't get any further than that.
Right. I mean, that's where I saw Stringer Smith. In there.
And that would follow then that...
Were you in the fucking Fingerwoods? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Ooh,
Yes, somewhere like that.
it's
But if
fucked
he
up.
stole my food, he's gonna come and kill us in our sleep.
Now, okay, out of character, I'm gonna have Corzin rack his brains and think, alright, was there a time where Stringer Smith had the opportunity to go through Scamp's pack?
Make an intelligence check.
Okay.
Can I as well?
Well, that's cocked.
Ooh, new dice. Ooh, 15.
6. No.
There were points, Corzin, you're not really sure, but Scamp, you travelled with Smith for 2 hours of walking, an extensive sky chase, a fight through an elaborate castle, and then left him at a battlefield. You didn't have him in your sight every single moment. If he was sneaky enough, it's conceivable that he could have gotten into your pack while you were distracted.
Yeah, Stringer Smith definitely stole my food. He's gonna kill us in our sleep.
I mean, does it
I'm
have
never
to be
sleeping
Stringer
again.
Smith? Like, could it be anyone else? Did you run into anything else while you were in there? Any other monsters? What the fuck were you two
Horde of
doing?
zombies, giant bats, werewolves,
Yeah.
wolves, fingers everywhere,
Right.
sea of bones. No, sea of teeth. That was awful.
I mean, out of that, Stringer Smith actually sounds quite nice, so that's good. Sounds like
But the only one that has motive and to really come after us is him.
I mean, was he like mean to you?
No, because if Corzin dies, he stops existing. But if he's over here, he doesn't need Corzin to live.
I mean, only so
That was why
long
he
as he
helped
can
us.
eat. Surely, isn't that the rules?
If he can get over here long enough, he can just eat what he likes. And he likes people to eat.
Oh fuck!
That's unfortunately true.
This is really bad, isn't it?
Yeah, no, that's bad.
What do we do?
We never make a character with wisdom as a dump stat again. Passive perception is shit.
Oh yeah, you have a terrible passive perception.
Alright,
I rolled for it while you went during one of the down bits.
alright, Fighty. Assuming that all of this is true, when is the next possible opportunity he could get out of the Dreamfold?
He'll need to get out when a portal opens. If he goes for the same one, it'll be nighttime here, but the thing is, the portals will open any time some people are sleeping.
Oh, good.
And
Great.
pretty much anywhere. So in theory, he could come out somewhere else entirely different.
So, are you saying if we have a fucking nap, he can get out here?
No, large concentrations of people sleeping.
Okay, good.
If you go for a nap in the
horrifying.
woods, you'll be fine, apart from things in the woods.
I don't think we'd be fine if we had a nap in the woods, darling, if I'm honest.
No, but if you had a nap in some other woods, or on the road, you would be fine.
I'm sorry, are there safe woods? Do those exist? Because I haven't fucking seen
never
any while
seen
I've
a
been
wood
up
that was
here.
safe. The safest I've been in a wood is the fucking finger wood.
Yeah, me too. The finger woods was fucking lovely. Nothing happened in there.
Have I still got my bone clock?
You do! You have a you open your pack and you see and you actually see as they are opening their pack, Celestia, there are a handful of what look like thigh bone like branches and several just dead fingers.
Is this a new hobby?
I made a clock!
That doesn't explain anything.
It was the only way we had to tell the time while we were in the finger
With
woods.
severed fingers?
There were plenty of them around.
Is that a way people tell the time on the surface? Am I culturally thick?
Not generally, although it was apparently a means by which we could tell the time, at least where we were. Which was very, very useful, in fact, because otherwise we might have missed you entirely.
I mean, Arachne's fangs, I thought I'd had a fucking weird time.
So if we sleep now, it's alright because it's not a large concentration of sleeping?
What are you going
Yeah,
to
pretty
do
much.
with the severed fingers? Are you going to keep them as a souvenir?
I thought I'd make a hat. No, I'll get rid of them. It's fine. I'm not keeping the severed fingers.
I mean, a hat would be very intimidating, but I don't think it's particularly the image you want to be projecting.
I just keep thinking that we're as weird as we can get, and then there's just like it's like a ladder that I'm climbing up. There's just always another rung,
Yeah. Everyone starts singing suddenly, and everything. Let's go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because then when we wake up,
Or maybe we should shop and then go to sleep.
Yeah, but we need to be awake when everyone else goes to sleep in case our nightmares come to life.
Corzin sighs and says, "We've got to be practical about this. If we can go to sleep now and get what we need later, before everything here closes, then that's probably
good.
the best thing to do."
Yeah. Also, darling, I turn to Corzin. I know you want to say hello to Molly, but I think maybe we should wait to see if I need those spells for anything else. Wait till everything's safe. 2 spells and 2 big spells is a lot.
Yeah.
And if Stringer Smith decides to come out, we might need them.
We took him down once, we can take him down again, but I take your point.
I mean, if I've still got them at the end of the day, of course, 100%. But I don't think we should do it first thing. It just seems stupid.
No, I understand.
But as soon as we can, hey?
I hate to ask
Yeah.
Corzin, but he's been in your nightmares recently. Has he been stronger? Are you dreaming a worse version?
Not that I could really discern. It seemed to be mainly based on my memories and experiences of him, to be honest. And they weren't particularly extensive.
Because I've had nightmares of things that when I'm awake are scary but fine, but when you're dreaming they're much, much worse.
Yeah, everything's worse in dreams.
If that's the version that comes out,
Dream logic, yeah.
we need to know.
Well, what was he like when you met him?
Helpful. It was
Weirdly
unnerving.
helpful. But then again, he had a vested interest in us, or at least me, staying alive.
He didn't try and eat either of you.
No.
No, but he clearly took our food.
Fuck.
We should check if there's like a local guard or anything that can be ready to fight if something comes through.
How much food went? days? Weeks,
You all had a week's worth of food.
Yeah.
Right, so 10 days tops. Assuming he eats at the same rate you do.
I could have eaten that in a day.
Yeah, but no one fucking eats like you, do they?
But he can eat that by the time it's night and the portal opens.
I mean, he only needs a bit to be able to get through it, doesn't he? If I were him, I'd eat it as slowly as possible. Make
But
it
once
last.
he's through, there's as much as he wants here.
Bollocking fuck. Arse.
How many hours till dusk?
It's a little over 8 hours till dusk.
We should sleep.
Probably maybe close to 9. Like you've got, you've probably got like an hour's worth of shopping leeway, as it were, either side. Yeah, one side or the other.
Apple Blossom, Jimothy. Sorry,
Yes?
other way round. I'm sorry to keep interrupting you.
Honestly, I get it. It's much easier to refer to us by surname.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And when do the shops close here?
Dusk, or just before it. Generally, people have fairly early nights in Jimothy.
Right, let's go to sleep.
A lot of them come here to get some drinks.
Do you have a town guard?
Well, I mean, a lot of us are trained with weapons, but frankly, the Weaving Widow takes care of most dangers.
Who's that?
She's well, she is one of the things in the woods. She's the original person, for want of a better word, that the Jimothy that founded the town made pacts with. See, he was an adventurer, way back in the days when adventures were really like a thing in this in those sort of noble knights going out sort of way. And he went through a lot of things, and he found this portal here in the Dreamfold, or that went to the Dreamfold, and he met quite a few of those entities, and some of them they were hostile to him, some of them he fought, and some he was friendly with, and one in particular he was very friendly with. Fell in love with, in fact, and got married to.
Right.
And he and her, well, the two of them, they founded this village. Jimothy knew that he could make some very profitable arrangements with the gnomes, who generally need good supplies of food and reliable ones and other things that you can't get in the Dreamfold. And there's lots of valuable stuff, mostly luxuries, that you can get from the Dreamfold. And invited people here, and he was a tricky sort. He made a lot of pacts with a lot of different things. The Despiser of Song, the Weaving Widow, the Empty Cottage, and they basically all agreed not to harm him, but he got them to agree not to harm anyone called Jimothy. And then he got everyone who moved here to irrevocably change their names to Jimothy.
Right.
And called the town Jimothy.
And called the town Jimothy, and so they can't touch anything here. But according to the old pacts, any strangers are more or less fair game. So there's a few things we use to get around that. Other pacts that were made later. For instance, the Despiser of Song won't come near any music. Especially song as well. Hates sung words. The widow, she is, well...
So let me get this right. The widow is the person that he fell in love with?
With and married, and they were together for many, many years. According to legend, he lived well beyond human years, due to a lot of passing in and out of the Dreamfold.
Oh, right.
Could have lived forever, maybe, but, well, he was an adventurer. He never stopped adventuring, and it's not really clear how, but eventually he met the fate that a lot of adventurers do, and passed on. And his wife didn't take it well, but remained protective of her husband's town. So she won't attack anyone called Jimothy, and she maintains a sort of magic around this place. You can't find Jimothy unless you come in through the Dreamfold gate. Your name is Jimothy, or you're a gnome, or, and Lisabeth pops up and says, unless you have a Jimothy seal, and she produces from her pocket a large bronze sort of coin with a ribbon attached. You can see it has another image of this Jimothy founder on it, top hat and all.
But how do you get one if you can't find it and nobody talks about it?
Well, they are passed down between trusted traders. Only a few people are trusted with knowledge of Jimothy in order to keep the secret. So I learned it from my old mentor, and he brought me here when I was younger using his seal. And then when he retired, he passed me the seal. So I can find it, but to anyone who's not a gnome or called Jimothy or has the seal, it's all just woods in this valley. And if you try and find it, the Weaving Widow, she does something to your sense of directions. You essentially go in circles around Jimothy, but you can't actually go into it.
Huh.
I've seen Jimothy on maps, though.
It's an interesting thing. There's a few maps that have it, but those of us who tried with it, we went to a lot of trouble to make it so that most cartographers think that it is an in-joke between cartographers.
Oh, like not a real place. Like you're putting Fancy Pants Land.
Exactly.
on a map.
So
I want to go to Fancy Pants.
It sounds great. I'd fit right in.
Fighty staring into his tankard. You don't want to go to Fancy Pants Land.
That's not fucking real, is it?
He grins.
Fighty, do not fuck with me today, you little shit. I need to drink more. Shut up.
I mean, to be fair, it's probably a place in the Dreamfold.
Just stop talking about weird stuff.
I did find this one place where everyone did actually have very fancy pants at one time, but I think that was just like a place where in the Dreamfold where they were selling trousers.
How big is the Dreamfold? Is it like...
I'm not really familiar with with all of the deep secrets. Vera once described it as finite but unbounded, whatever that means.
Yep, no idea.
He shrugs.
Where did you get to in the Dreamfold? They were busy with bats and wolves and shit and Stringer Smith. What about you?
Nope. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, cool.
You see, the gondola, like the little straw hat on the ground. He takes one foot and stamps on it and just grinds it a little bit.
Okay, fair enough.
Did you end up in
Nope.
the place that you weren't intending to go?
There's quite a few places I didn't intend to go there, and I went to some of them. He twitches a little. I don't want to see another gondola for a long time.
Okay, no gondolas.
And if we can do our best to stay away from flamingos, I would be very happy.
What's a flamingo?
Yeah, what is a flamingo?
Right.
I don't know either.
It's like a tall, very pink bird.
I like it.
I mean, they sound
I'm going to
fine.
roll and see if Corzin knows what a flamingo is.
Yeah, make a nature check. Oh, they sound fun. Everything in that place sounds fun.
12.
dear.
You've seen a picture of a flamingo. You've never actually encountered one in person, but you have an idea of what they look like.
They're apparently my height. They live not on this continent.
They're more common in Haldanos, yes.
They sort of stand on one leg.
Why?
No one knows quite why.
I try standing on one leg for a bit.
Roll an acrobatics
Yeah,
check.
like that.
I would like to also stand on one leg with Scamp and see if I can do it for
Yeah.
longer.
13.
Haha, 17. I win.
Bear in
Scamp,
mind you're
you-
drinking.
Yeah, Scamp, you keep this up for like a good minute, but before eventually falling over, Celestia, you do it for like 2 minutes, just to make sure you can. About this point, Henri goes up to his mother and tugs on her trousers. Is it alright if I go play with Jimothy? Yes, go play with Jimothy and Jimothy, but not Jimothy. That little boy is very strange. In any case, is Jimothy going to be looking? Just make sure you stay within sight of Jimothy, okay? She needs to keep an eye on you. Okay, Mama. And Henri sort of steps out of town. You see Elizabeth kind of keep an eye on him as he goes off, following him until he reaches out one of the many multicolored houses, where a woman with a bright blue skirt steps out, sort of like, Henri! And picks him up in a hug. Okay, he's fine.
Yeah, Corzin looks at this unfolding scene and goes, I wonder how this figures in regards to little Corzin's playmates. He has a friend called Jimothy, apparently, and another one called Gregathy, yeah.
Gregathy. So actually, at this point, Jimothy goes, wait, Gregathy? That's a fucking weird name.
I know, right?
Because we all have perfectly normal names.
My name is perfectly normal.
How many other Celestias did you know?
None, actually.
I mean, is it a common name in the Underdark?
Not really.
Just
so you guys are heading up towards bed.
Yes.
As you head up to your rooms, Elizabeth puts a hand on your arm, Corzin. Do you mind finishing your drink with me for a minute?
certainly.
Okay.
And he sits down.
She thinks of something. Oh, not like that. You understand? Just...
He holds up his tankard of cider with his left hand so that his wedding ring is very visible.
She raises hands. That's not what I meant. To be honest with you, I wanted to talk a bit with an halfling who is not called Jimothy, she says, keeping an eye on Jimothy, who's moved into the back room.
Understandable.
I've been here many times. This place is still a little weird.
You're telling me?
It's good. I don't know. It's good to get up, to get away from Seoul right now. Things are bad in the cities. And in the... I thought the countryside would be better, but they are not better.
Well, if the war is really over, then yeah, I'd imagine it's pretty chaotic.
I think once things get done here, I'll be heading back to the office in the warehouse back in Isle-de-Saint. Maybe we'll decide whether to hole up there or, reason forbid, maybe even leave the country. But it was good to get out of the town. Between you and me, I was a little bit running from my problems.
Those problems being what? The fallout of the war being over.
That, but also my partner, or former partner, Blanc. He was in the business with me, luxury goods trading and such, but between you and me, he was not good at the merchant side of things, and I didn't realize that the way he was making up the money was through less orthodox methods, let us say. It turns out he was blackmailing our competitors, actually burned down one of their houses. And the last straw was I found out he had links to a group of deserters that had been this has resorted to banditry. I broke things off with him, but I just needed to get out of the town.
I can understand that. It's it must have been a tough thing to be able to
I mean,
to break it off like that.
I don't know. You look like the sort of man who, doesn't run from his problems. More likely to face them head on. What would you do if you were me? Like, I'm wondering if I did the right thing.
Well, he made a choice that was going to affect you and your family without consulting you. Now, even if he did that with the best of intentions, he has to face up to that as much as you do. And what he seems to be doing is looking out for himself. I mean, I have a family myself, and I don't see as much of them as I really ought to. But whenever I do, I make sure that they understand and they see that whatever I'm doing out here is ultimately all for them. And I think that perhaps one of the reasons why you maybe ended up here was that you were doing what was right not only for yourself but for your son.
Thank you. It is good to hear that from someone else. She smiles and drains her breakfast beer. Looks over. That one with the monkey. She walks over towards the table, to the other side of the table, and picks up. You can see there is a small stuffed toy bear, missing one eye, as always. So a little one-button eye. I'll have to go and give this back to Henri. He's always dropping this thing. But worst thing is, it was actually a gift from Blanc as well. She rolls her eyes. I could not bear to take it away, so he loves this thing.
Probably best to let him have something that's pleasant for him.
Yes, on that you are right. Well, thank you for the talk. Your wife, she is a very lucky woman. She smiles.
And I'm a very lucky man.
Taps you on the shoulder. Right. Henri, dropped your bear again? She steps out, moves off out of the inn, and you head up with the others to your rooms. There are... It would actually be 2 rooms that would be made available for you, because these are doubles. And actually, after some of the inns you've stayed in, the rooms are really quite spacious. Again, there's aggressive fucking fretworking, even in the interior. But there are some very nice paintings, portraits mostly of non-Jimothy style locations, that have been hung up in the rooms. The bedding is incredibly soft. There's full proper goose feather pillows, and perhaps unexpectedly, the 3 of you get a really restful sleep.
I'm casting alarm before we do.
I'm going to think about Jet before I sleep and see if I can dream of her. You know how you try to sometimes.
Cool.
Corzin. You find yourself dreaming of a good time, actually. It's a time you haven't seen for a long time as well. But just, you remember younger days, dancing through a crowded halfling pub, locking arms with various young halfling ladies, and your brother Wendell doing the same with more frequency but less luck. You find yourself remembering the many girlfriends that he went through.
Yeah.
And there's not much else that happens in the dream, but it's heartening in some ways. Scamp, you find yourself dreaming of a quiet time working in a workshop, just doing small tasks, helping an elderly dwarven gunsmith, just putting together muskets for the most part. But you also, there's a bit of memory to this dream, and you remember watching her with a long drill doing curious revolving sort of spirals cut into the interior of the bore. But what you mostly, but again, the dream is nice. You know, it's one of the few happy memories from that time. Times of warm beds and enough food. And someone who at that time hadn't left yet. Celestia, you dream of a dinner table set for two, but there's only you there, but you feel a warmth as you quietly tuck into your meal, drink your wine, and just spend some time reading, looking out the balcony at a river which in this dream is just normal water, but with a brilliant sunset beyond. And just a sense of something close by. When the three of you wake, the sun is low in the sky. It is later in the day, and you, as you kind of groggily return from your various sleeps, you're awoken by the telltale sound of the band somewhere else, just out somewhere in the town, playing because they know that there are guests.
God, is it the same band?
Looking out the window, you can see actually several of the members of the band have changed.
Good.
It seems that they have some sort of setup for people to rotate through. A couple of the instruments have changed as well. There's still the guitarist, and you're working. You can hear there's a bit more general sort of hubbub and chatter coming from down below. It seems some of the citizens have come into their beer hall for drinks and such in the hour or so before sunset. Oh yeah, Scamp, roll a d100.
Oh, balls.
I hate you.
Just remember that was the thing.
34.
Okay.
We had 34.
You've had it before, and you feel a strange, a feeling that you recognise of potency within you, Scamp. It remains with you as it did before, waiting for the moment to discharge.
Okay.
So, tell me next time you cast a damaging spell.
Will do.
Awesome.
Okay.
So, should we, before night falls and everything apparently goes batshit, should we try and get some trading done? Could try and sell some of
Probably a
this
good
treasure.
idea, yeah.
I've got a lot of jewellery, I've got more treasure. And I'd like some more whiskey because I'm running a bit low. It's been a
wonder
hard
how
couple
much-
of weeks.
How much pixie dust goes for here?
Don't know. Worth asking.
Okay.
I need more supplies.
There
Well,
are-
yeah, all your fucking rations have been taken by a naughty cannibal man. Probably. Unless it was a bat. You said there were bats?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, Jason,
Yes.
just out of curiosity, Corzin takes out the tiny little vial he had of
Bugs.
beetles.
Yep,
and
they're
other
still
things.
writhing around.
Okay,
You
they're still actually active. Okay.
Yep,
You
still undead.
still have that.
Yeah. Well,
Gross.
I didn't just get rid of them, but I'm not sure quite what I'm supposed to do with them now.
Maybe you have some undead bug friends forever. That might be your life now.
Well, it's interesting because we are now hundreds, if not thousands, of miles away from where these things were created.
Also, they haven't been fed. And there's no
No.
less of them than there was, so they haven't been eating each other.
I'm not
And
feeding them.
they're undead. They don't need to eat.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a very good point. That
Roll
I
a
hadn't
nature
considered.
check to see whether you understand the laws of thermodynamics.
Me.
No, anyone who wants to.
Yeah, go on then. Yeah.
9!
6.
Definitely not.
Corzin?
Oh, actually, nature. Yeah. That's a dirty 20.
Yeah, you know, like, you remember Molly talking to you once about something called the law of conservation of energy that she'd heard someone talking about, and
Essentially, they've got to be getting it from somewhere. But I
Yeah.
just assumed it was magic.
yeah, that seems to be the answer. Just as far as you can tell, just magic.
But it does seem to suggest that whatever magical effect created these things isn't bound by range or time.
No, oddly. I vote we don't think about this too hard.
Oh.
I'm going to go and sell some treasure. Who's with me?
I am.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. So let's see.
So I personally have 740 gold worth of treasure and 150 gold in jewellery. Don't know how you want to play that or what we're doing.
Okay, so you head towards. I mean, probably you guys don't really need anything at the blacksmith, although you do see there is a short. The blacksmith is out and working, a short, muscular female dwarf with russet beard and hair, threaded with many silver rings. But because you don't need any metalworking done, you pass by onto the general store, and you find a small but actually fairly capacious, well-apportioned little shop, decked out with all manner of just like little bric-a-brac on the walls, but also a lot of practical supplies, lots of pickled foods and so on, and just small tools. And behind the desk there is a 5-foot-tall human woman, dusky-skinned, quite heavy-set in build, with hazel eyes and grey hair bound into a tail. Oh, hello. Hello. How can I help you?
Hello, Jimothy.
Ah, I see you are familiar with my name. Yes, I am Jimothy Prajapati. It is a pleasure to see you.
Hello, Celestia Stardust. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
We've got some treasure and stuff that we were wanting to sell.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, let us see what we have. And she begins looking over your various belongings. I'm going to say this is... Let's call this a persuasion check for general bartering.
I'm going to do it.
Can we help at all, or is
Yeah.
it just a one-off?
I mean, like, if you're all kind of chipping in, fine. Then I'll let you
Yeah.
do it with advantage.
So I'll do it with advantage.
Yeah.
And I'll roll an insight check to counter
Definitely
her.
me for persuasion.
Yep.
Oh god, that's terrible. Rolled a 3 and a 4 with advantage, which is still a 15 for me. Oh no, hang on, 14. Sorry, I can't do maths. Ignore me.
Okay. 14. After discussing it through, Jimothy kind of seems to reach the conclusion that while a lot of it is of interest, right now they're, not necessarily looking to, they've just sold a lot of stuff for export to to Elizabeth, who has they'd be buying it up for next time, essentially. And there's only so much cash she has on hand. She is willing to take up to, I will say, up to 300 gold pieces total of jewellery, and up to 200 gold pieces total of treasure from you.
200 divided by 3. Hang on. So 200.
Okay. Because of that 14, we'll say 200. She'll stretch to 210.
Thank you. That's really, really helpful. Okay, so that's 70 each of treasure.
Yeah.
And
100 each.
And 100 each of jewelry.
Yes, you can all take that much off your packs, and because of that, because of the rate you did, she gives 14, but she rolled low on the insight, so I'll say that you are actually able to get it at market rates. Like you don't get extra, but you don't lose out either.
So we should all have 170 gold,
you all get
more than we
170
had.
gold.
70 less of treasure, 100 less of jewelry. Cool.
Which is all paid in
170 gold.
Sulian gold crowns.
Okay, great. Sorry, I'm just doing maths.
That is quite a lot of. Things. Is there anything that I can provide for you?
Do you have alcohol?
Yes, we have a number of alcohols. What kind of alcohol are you looking for?
Whiskey.
That is all right then. She is basically, because again they've got a lot of stuff here, and they're not too far from the dwarves. She's got we've got neatly into 3 brands of whiskey here. She has some straight up cheap local Sulian, Highland Sulian whiskey for 2 silver pieces a bottle. She has Cairney's whiskey, which is good Highland Scotch functionally, and that's 5 silver a bottle. Or she has, for a gold piece a bottle, dwarven whiskey.
2 bottles of dwarven whiskey.
Okay, she sells you 2 bottles of dwarven whiskey. It's 2 gold.
Excellent.
She's also willing to sell you trail rations at a rate of 1 copper piece per day.
Okay. I will get 3 weeks.
Okay, you pay 3 silver pieces and get 30 days of rations.
Decent.
Also, do you have coffee?
We do in fact have some coffee. And she is willing to. You've still got your little cafetiere, haven't you?
I've got a kettle, yeah.
So she sells you a. It's important, so it's quite expensive. But for a gold piece, she sells you a bag of coffee beans.
Nice.
You need to roast and grind them yourself. But basically, you've got about a month's worth of coffee.
Cool. I'll just put 1 month coffee.
Yeah.
Sweets.
She does actually have.
You have sweets.
She does have some sweets available.
You have literally never-ending sweets.
Not
That is true.
if you want to buy sweets anyway, you can.
I would like to buy sweets anyway, please.
As always, it's more a question of proportion. Like, she has up to probably 5 gold pieces worth of sweets before you completely clean out every jar she has.
I will buy a gold of sweets, please.
Oh, good. You're going to leave some sweets for the children of Jimothy. Good. Little Jimothy will be able to have his treats after all.
Yes, you can't have little Jimothy going out with going without his, toffees or something.
Oh, monkey food!
Monkey food, again, is like for a month. A month of monkey food is because it's all it's literally peanuts. We'll call it. We'll call this a round silver piece.
By the by, just for the record, I rolled an addiction check when we got up, and I'm still 1 point addicted.
Cool,
so,
thank you.
Just thought I'd let you know.
So you didn't recover any hit dice.
Don't think I used any.
No,
So I'm alright.
you're fine. But yes, how many months? How many months of monkey food do you want?
Just the one at the
Okay,
moment.
yeah. You buy a month worth of just nuts and dried fruits. Is there anything else that I can do to help?
Are you a person who sells potions? I don't know what they sell in general stores on the surface.
Oh, we do have a few that from our last visit with the traders. I believe I have a total of 6.
Okay. Healing?
Yes.
Healing. Okay.
She nods.
How much are
That is
those?
pretty much the only ones we have. Those are 30. Double check from memory. Nope, they're not 30. That's ridiculously cheap.
That's very cheap.
Yeah, because these are normally 50, aren't they? So yeah, that would actually be. So they are unfortunately because of the costs of those, I believe those are 60. Just double check that. I might be wrong about that. Yeah, sorry, no. Potions are different. It is 25. So it's like those are 30.
Could I buy 2 of those, please?
Of course.
Thank you very much.
She passes you over the 2 small healing potions. Because healing potions are crazily expensive.
So that would be 60 for the 2 of them, yeah? Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm just checking again.
Literally, bottled magic works on a whole different economic scale.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know if there's a place around here I could get some ammunition?
Oh yes, I would suggest you go over to Jimothy. She nods in the direction of the blacksmith.
Jimothy the blacksmith. Right. Alright.
I believe she has a number of different... she may still have some musket shots still around.
Right you are then, thank you.
Thank you. And yeah, unless there's anything else you want to buy from Jimothy, you head over to Jimothy. Yeah.
Jim, mostly.
Yeah. Jimothy is, as mentioned before, short, muscular, dwarven woman. Her clothes are actually a lot simpler than a lot of the others, but probably because she's working at a forge right now. Although she's not actually at the forge, she's currently doing some cold forging work. And she is wearing a simple woolen tunic and trousers, leather apron, has a thick russet beard and hair, all of it though meticulously braided and threaded with many silver rings. She has grey eyes as well. So, she says, looking up, hello. Welcome to my shop. My name's Jimothy. Jimothy Iron Founder. So, how can I help you?
Well, I was wondering if you got any carbine or pistol shot.
I believe I can help you with that. If you'd just like to come with me. And she does actually have quite a lot of... She does have both shot and powder for sale. And if I quickly consult my price guide, which is way up here, I need to print that price guide into a more reliable source. Yes, here we go. So it is. Yep, no, that's accurate. 10 musket shots with associated cartridges of powder costs 1 silver piece. She actually has quite a lot of ammunition available. She brings you into the back, and you can see in her back room, behind a solidly locked wood and steel reinforced door, are a selection of muskets. A couple of blunderbusses, several pistols, some grenades, and several securely kept kegs of powder, and several just large buckets of shot of slightly different calibers.
Okay, well if it's 1 silver piece for 10, then I will spend 10 silver pieces and get 100.
Okay, you get 100.
I might do the same.
She
if
can
that's
also
all right.
yes,
Yeah.
she can also provide shot for your blunderbuss. At I think it's the rate is 1 silver per 5 scatter shot or slug shot.
All right, let's call it around 20 silver pieces then.
Yeah.
Fine.
You now have 50. Divide up that slug or scatter shot as you will, but make a note of what proportions you buy in.
Okay. Well, it could be half and half, can't it?
Yeah. Ammunition is cheap. Well, it's not cheap from the
Relatively.
standards of normal economy, but you're adventurers. You literally went into a ruin and came out with treasure.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means I should have at least 5 scatter shot and 5 slug shots and 100 assorted balls for the carbine and pistols.
Jimothy.
Shopping episodes!
Yeah,
Shopping episode.
Assorted
Jimothy.
balls.
Yes.
Do you engrave things?
Oh yes.
Just wondering would you engrave a gun?
Happily, I could do that overnight for you and have it ready for you in the morning.
I've got a spare actually.
Or if you want a rush job, I'm sure I could see I can see if I can do it within an hour or so.
I'd be happy to pay a little bit more if you would.
All right. This will be aware I do charge triple for rush jobs.
How much is it in the first place?
You'll be looking at a good 5 silver pieces.
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
I'd like you to write "fuck you" on the side of it, please.
Ah, one of those. Very well.
Thank you.
So next round, and you can see she actually has she apparently gets this one quite often because she has a specially made die. Is done in beautiful cursive in reverse. The words "fuck you," and she actually just takes that and carefully hammers the die onto the. Still charges you like 15 silver pieces.
It's fine, yeah.
But yeah, no. Apparently, she gets this request so often
Incredible.
that she has a die pre-made for it.
Incredible.
Amazing.
It's actually done in like the better part. It's actually done in like 10 minutes,
This is beautiful.
including
Thank
smoothing
you.
and finishing. That's all right.
Right. Shall we go and hide inside?
I do also do flintlock balls with your enemies' names on, if you'd like. But those would take a bit. Those are an overnight job because I have to do those custom.
That's a little specialist, but it would be very satisfying to shoot a ball into Olga with her name on it.
It would be good. I mean, the likelihood of me actually killing her with a gun is very little, but maybe you would. I don't know.
I mean, I know we're planning on killing her anyway, but it does make it feel a little bit like murder if we take the time to carve her name into a gun.
I mean,
Scamp, how many people is she even directly responsible for killing?
Loads,
Much
but that
less
doesn't make us
indirectly.
murderers until we carve her name into a gun.
are you sure we're not murderers? Because I'm not sure. I think we should talk about something else.
I agree, says
Yeah.
Jimothy, who's been awkwardly standing in the middle of this conversation.
Sorry, have a lovely
Okay.
day. Does anybody else need anything from this lovely blacksmith before we leave? I'm sorry, her?
And apparently gunsmith, yeah.
Yeah, before we leave her
Cousin might
alone.
even Cousin might even say to Jimothy, "Hag deals, not even once."
Oh,
twice.
It's a song I've heard before. So you head back to Jimothy's, ! And settle in for a few. You settle in and get a few drinks as the day grows dimmer before the. And actually, as you're heading back, you notice the town kind of it's quite a small town, and as you get towards where the gate is, and not far from the tavern, there is kind of the tree line starts very abruptly. There's just forest after a certain point. And you can see near the edge of almost the threshold of town, there are a number of small stone shrines with small little things like straw dolls or burnt wildflowers or little carved icons left on them. And it actually strikes you, Corzin, there's no church in this town. There's these
No church of the region.
No church of the region in this town. Not even a little a little votive altar like you'll sometimes get in out of the way villages.
Well, I mean, given everything else going on here, I don't imagine that lack of a church of the region is the weirdest thing. But I mean, we should have asked when was this place founded? It could be pre-Regency anyway.
Might be.
I might ask someone later. Or
So,
Saints help us, I could even ask that chanter bloke, but
don't get him started. Oh,
No.
I'd probably get the whole frickin' song and dance, literally.
Yeah, we'd be there for hours. So, Dreamfold's opening when it hits dark time, dusk. That's a word for that.
There is indeed a word for that, says Fighty. Actually, Fighty's
I know
Fighty's not been with you.
surface terms are
Fighty has
a
been
little
drinking
baffling.
steadily this whole time. When you last looked in, he was kind of half passed out at the bar.
So, I vote we go inside somewhere where we can peep out a window and wait for it to open, see if anything comes through. Because we've been told that we need to be inside, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if Stringer Smith doesn't come through, great, we're inside. But if he does, we'll be able to see him.
It is currently looking like there's probably about 10 minutes or so till sundown. The sun's really low in the eye. And as you're heading towards Jimothy's, you see a short figure running towards you from elsewhere in the town. Oh, thank goodness! I hate to say this, but have you seen Henri?
No.
I left him with the childminder when I was finalising some last deals, but that bitch. There was apparently a fight with one of the children. They were mocking him for not being called Jimothy.
That's the weirdest reason to mock anyone I have ever heard.
But in this place, that's, I mean, not excusable, but understandable.
Children are cunts, right? Where was he last seen?
She gestured over to the house where they were, but I've looked around there. Can you please? I know we have not got long till sundown, but can you please give me a hand just looking around the town, see if you can find him?
Of course.
Henri! Yeah, can I ask you all to make an investigation check if you want to help, please?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I imagine we all shout as well, and
The Jimothy music, by the way, is now coming from inside the tavern. They've apparently retired. The band has retired there for the evening.
was it investigation?
Investigation.
Oh,
So that's a 14 from
12.
me.
Celestia, you're running around, you're kind of looking, you check high, you check low, you call out his name, but Celestia, you're by not too far from the shrines. You're looking around and you see just beyond the threshold, a few trees into the wood, you can see there is a small toy bear with one missing eye.
Oh.
Elizabeth.
Have you found something? And she runs over and
Yes.
you hear her calling, and the rest of you join back over towards, run over towards Celestia.
I'm sorry, but look at that.
Oh, my dear Regent.
Can I
I have to go after him.
Would he have run in there?
I mean, he knows not to. He knows to. I don't know. Maybe if he was running away from his boys, but he should have come back in. I have to search for him.
Right.
Can I have a look and see if there's any tracks?
Yeah,
in the...
Do you pass into the woods to do it, or are you just looking?
I I'm going to be looking first around the vicinity of where the bear was found, but then if I don't find anything there, I might move a little bit further in.
Okay, you look.
Not out of sight of anyone else.
Without stepping into the woods, you look. Give me a survival check.
Survival, okay. Okay, that is a 19.
Okay, you can see, studying through the dim light, you make out tracks, small footprints, and then larger boot prints, signs of a scuffle, before heavy boots carry what look like a struggling feet away before lifting them up. And
human-sized boots?
Human-sized, probably, yeah, definitely human-sized, and
right,
human,
I point this all out
human
to
boot
else.
prints as well.
Well, bollocking hell, we've got to help, haven't we?
I think we rather do.
Shit,
Elizabeth
right.
looks up at you as genuinely surprised. You will help?
You're going in there on your own. That'd be fucking
I'm not
stupid.
sure you should
Come
go
on.
in there at all.
Oh, thanks, Your Agent. I am going after my son, but
Well,
I
yeah.
Going into the woods alone at this time of night is probably suicide. We got to stick together.
I'm not a fighter, but
It's all right. We are. Are we fighters? Is that a thing?
she looks at the double cutlasses and pistols that Corzin is carrying and the blunderbuss across his back. You seem to be a fighter. I'd be very glad to have you with us.
Right.
We're certainly a lot more... And he gives a side glance to Fighty here. We're certainly a lot more...
Fighty's drunk in the bar.
Fighty's passed out in the bar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then in which case, he says, we're certainly a bit more fighty than most people here.
Okay. And as you step and move towards the woods, you realise the Jimothy song has finished. The sun is gone. You see in the distance, about 50 feet away, just there's a multicoloured halo of the gate beginning to reopen. But as you stand at the threshold, you hear a soft chorus of voices. Can't tell where they're coming from. Just there's no Jimothys around to sing it. Take one step more, you pass beyond our sight. The song pauses, waiting to see what you'll do.
Who was that?
Just seem to come from all around you.
Coulson takes the carbine off his shoulder and loads it.
Someone needs to watch this portal and make sure Smith doesn't come through.
There is a stumbling as you see a kind of vaguely half-awake Fighty. Comes out.
Excellent!
What's this?
Fighty, darling. Could you keep an eye on the portal and see if a man with his head stitched on comes out of it?
Sure thing.
He's a cannibal, don't let him eat you.
I've had plenty of people not eat me before.
Alright. If he does come out, just hit him a bit until we're back.
Go for the stomach, it's his weak point.
I'll do. So it starts
More
coughing a
ways than one.
tankard.
I'd pay you in booze, but I think maybe you've had enough. And that's from
You're
me.
not my mother.
Thank fuck, no I'm not. Right, let's...
Once again, you hear the voice just coming out of nowhere. Take one step more, you pass beyond our sight.
No time like the present.
And we were going to do
Maybe
this.
we should sing the whole way.
I can sing. I like singing.
Maybe that would be a good idea, actually.
Fucking hell.
At least you can sing stuff you like.
That's true. I get out my guitar. Whiskey is the life of man. Whiskey, Johnny. I drink whiskey where I can.
And as you
Whiskey
step
for
over the
you.
threshold, the voice finishes. Now you will learn why you fear the night. And that is where we will pick up after our break.
Oh,
I don't want to pause after that. That's horrible.
yeah.
Alright, we'll rejoin you all after these, no doubt important, messages. And now a word from our friends over at One Shot Onslaught.
Hey everyone, it's your Dungeon Master Adam here to tell you all about One Shot Onslaught. We are an actual play D&D 5e podcast, and we even follow some of the rules.
Rules? No one said there'd be rules.
We play through popular one-shot modules from dmsco.com so that you can drop in at any episode that has Part 1 in the title. The players are all a part of the Adventurers Guild, specifically a group called the D-Team, and we have Lord Sean Snow, the hero's hero, who is a 140-year-old human wizard.
I cast magic and missile up its butthole!
We have Death, who is a tiefling rogue, who only eats raw meat and is a little bit shifty when it comes to morals.
Did somebody say meat?
The dwarf druid Ironclaw, who loves nature almost as much as he loves oatmeal.
Cinnamon oatmeal, or get the F out.
And last but not least, we have Ted, the tiefling bard who loves to jam out on his magic guitar and skadoosh out on his magical flying broom.
Skadoosh.
Find us wherever you download your podcast by searching for One Shot Onslaught, and look for new episodes every single Monday.
It's time for the interlude, and we don't mean to be rude. So if you'll forgive us our jibe, you would fill us all with glee. Tell your friends or buy us coffee, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Leave us a review on dear old iTunes. You'll fill us with just so much cheer. As for Patreon, not much to put on. Ask us later on in the year.
And welcome back. You have passed beyond the threshold out of Jimothy. The forest is dark and quiet. There are trees stretching out in every direction, but there are some tracks leading on, deep, heavy human footprints. The four of you, Celestia, Corzin, Scamp, and Elisabeth, proceed deeper into the woods.
I'm gonna quite quietly sing this whole time. A drop of Grimville's blood wouldn't do us any harm. A drop of Grimville's blood wouldn't do us any harm. So on.
Okay. So, Corzin, you're leading. I assume you're leading the tracking.
Yeah.
Can I ask for a survival check from you and a performance check from Celestia to see how long you can keep that up for without needing to stop or anything?
Yeah, I'm not doing like a big energy performance. By
No,
the way,
you're just trying to keep it up. There's a few things.
Sorry. My dice got
that's a
stuck in the
one.
dice tower.
Oh,
Hang on.
Roll the fuck on the fuck dice.
I think Scamp
okay.
will take over any time that Celestia sort of falters.
That's 17 for survival.
Okay, since you are saying that, Scamp, it's not advantage. Scamp may also make a check.
Yeah, I mean, I got a 1. Like, there's
Yeah,
no going
also
back
make
from
a
that. Really, a
performance
1's a 1.
Okay.
Corzin knows the shanties. He'll pitch
12.
in when
Your
needs be.
attention is focused on the ground. You pitch in where you can, but it's not 12. Is that cool?
Yeah, 12.
Yeah. So, with a 17, you are easily enough able to follow the tracks. You can see where they just trudge onwards for a short time. And you're carrying on for the next 10 minutes, 15, 20. At one point, you see the footsteps suddenly shift in length and depth, breaking into
Can
a
I tell
run.
numbers?
Initially there's one, but they are joined by a second pair after a while, and a third and fourth. But then when the running starts, they break. They move in slightly different directions. It's a little confused as to which set you're following. As you run forwards until you see a figure slumped against a tree. Celestia has just been kind of carrying on the singing quietly under her breath. Well, not under her breath, but like a low energy.
On the horizon, that's what they always say. Just like low
This whole
singing.
time. And you see there is a figure, a human figure, slumped against one tree. They are very dead. Very freshly dead. Something has torn away their jaw, tongue, throat, and has slit open their abdomen and taken out their lungs in their entirety.
Ooh.
But you can see there is a tattered, kind of travel-worn, deep blue uniform of a Sulian soldier. And as you're looking, Lisabeth goes, "Wait a minute. I recognize that man. He was one of those, one of the deserters that Blanc was dealing with.
Deserters
Do
from
they usually
where?
From the army.
Do they usually operate in this area?
No, by the regent, he must have followed me up here. But he couldn't have entered Jimothy. He didn't have the seal.
What you think? Hang on, I'm so out of character for a second. I just need to get something straight. Were we there when she was talking about Blanc?
No, you weren't.
We didn't hear her mention
that was
Blanc.
between her and
I couldn't remember
Corzin.
if she'd mentioned it
No.
at
Okay.
another time.
Yeah.
So actually, I
So
don't know
Celestia
that.
doesn't know this.
Retcon that last 30
Yeah.
seconds. So who's this?
Blanc, he was my partner in my trading. I recently broke away from him because of his involvement with these criminals and predators. But he must have followed. Perhaps I thought I had kept the trade with Jimothy secret from him. He must have found out about it and tried to follow me. But you can't get into Jimothy unless you have the seal.
Well, by the looks of things, we've got at
Right.
least 4 men here, including this one. If they couldn't get into Jimothy, they must have been wandering around in this forest, lost.
Celestia, while you've been talking, and Corzin, you are the first one to hear.
Okay.
You turn around and you look, and you can see something in the woods moving closer. It's larger than a wagon. Mm-hmm. Its long limbs moving frantically as it moves jerkily and erratically, but quickly towards you. In
When I was
silence,
down and winding.
as you try to sing, your throat catches. Natural one.
Ah, shit, yeah.
And you find yourself coughing and casting a threat. This creature, it has the head and body of a nightingale, but the bird's neck is elongated, prehensile, and curves and bobs as it moves. Its wings and legs are stretched and spindly. This thing cannot fly. It could never have flown. Each limb has 7 joints, stretching 5 times as long as its body, each limb moving independently of the rest. And as it goes closer, you can just hear the from its throat, like something that tries to sing but never can.
Someone sing something, for fuck's sake.
I dreamed a dream the other night. Lowlands.
It seems to react to the singing, and it kind of crunches its head down as if trying to block the sound out, and with terrifying speed scuttles away.
Well, that was literally the worst. Let's never stop singing again. With windy eyes so bright and blue and wheels of cheese around. She was pretty, she was willing, she got down on her knees. So I leaned over that milkmaid's head and stole away her cheese. I'm just going to carry on.
Yeah, you continue singing for a time. Okay, yeah, you're just carrying on, trying to keep up the singing as best you can.
If you need to swap out, signal. Then
Yeah.
someone else will join in,
Will do. I carry on
and
singing.
then they can stop.
Yeah.
You
Understood.
carry on. Because of the confusion in the tracks, Corzin, can I ask for another survival check? And from Celestia and... Pardon me. And from... Scamp, somehow, forgot your name.
Okay.
So
Another
survival.
check.
No, performance from you two. Survival
Okay, cool.
from Corzin.
Yeah, I guess me and Scamp are just rotating the singing.
Yeah.
13.
Oh, that was good. Okay, so
Elizabeth tries
exactly
to
the
sing.
same,
but
so
not-
29.
Yeah. You keep up that bardic stride.
Yeah, it's actually good as well. I'm going to
Yeah.
say it's not under the breath singing. It's actually
Like
quite
very loudly.
fun to watch.
Ah, when I was in Meadmere. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Kisses may come and kisses may go. There's always time for sleeves. But when the milkmaid turns her back, be sure to steal the cheese.
I knew I saw this lady. Yeah, Lieselot has an awful singing voice, and she mostly lets you do it. So what was the survival check?
Exactly the same. 17 again.
Okay. You see signs of one of the footsteps having to fight a little bit more, and again, smaller footsteps hit the ground for a moment. You see where a small figure tried to run away but was caught and dragged again before being picked up. You carry on. Every now and again, you see just glimpses of the nightingale type figure, but you sing louder and it gets driven off until eventually you hear. Can I actually? Yeah, you're happy. You hear just faintly, Corzin, with your passive perception in the distance. Wait, do you hear singing? What's going on there? I don't trust it. Come on, let's get back to camp. And the sound of running footsteps through the forest. Sounds like maybe 2 or 3 figures.
It's just Corzin that hears that, yeah?
Corzin has the highest passive perception.
Yeah,
you
cool.
you guys
No,
are busy singing.
I keep singing, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to gesture to everyone else to follow in that direction.
I do a thumbs up and keep singing.
You guys keep singing. Yeah, your attention, like, they know you're here. So if this is a chase and they are running away from you, if you want to try and follow them, so this going to take your existing tracking and running rolls, but singing rolls. But can I have athletics checks from you, please?
Oh dear.
Yep.
Lol.
And I'll roll for them as well.
Well, that's not bad, actually, for me.
That's a natural 20.
13
So that's a 19.
isn't horrendous.
Okay.
8.
Okay, Corzin, with your short legs, you start to fall behind. But Scamp, you speed on ahead. You guys are singing. They're not. Scamp, as you run ahead, you can see there are 3 figures. No sign of Henri, but there are 2 humans and a halfling, all desperately running, looking spooked by the woods. All they have muskets. They seem to be. One of them has a saber. It looks like, very much the look of deserters from the army. But as one of them, as the halfling who's lagging behind, please. No, you see, and with almost no sound, the despiser of song and its long nightingale-like body swoops out of the side of the woods and crunches just the talons of one of its long wing-like limbs into the halfling's mouth, crushes up through its jaw, and tears out jaw, throat, lungs and all, and then drags just those parts away into the woods.
Can we see Henri at all? Can we tell where he...
Henri doesn't appear to be with the 2 that have escaped, but they seem to be running in a very specific direction.
The 2 that have escaped, are we within shouting distance of them?
Yes. Because they can hear you singing. So
I'm going to pause my song for a second and say, you have to sing or it'll eat you, and then carry on singing.
I knew a man, boys, Bojack,
Poetry, not singing!
and he
Have we got any idea what this thing is?
You tell me. Do you have any idea what this thing is?
No,
It's the
a
Despiser
nightmare.
of Song.
Yeah.
You, as your best guess is what is Scamps.
It's a
Okay.
nightmare.
Some kind of nightmare creature. Okay.
However, the Despiser of Song, as it pulls away the creature, you see it vanishes deeper into the woods, going more and more distant, pulling away. It seems to have retreated somewhere to feast upon its prize. But as you carry running on, singing, charging after, you hear one of them call, "Oh, no, what was the milk? No, that, quickly, over there!" And you hear them peel off. Scamp, I'm going to say new athletics checks because they're as they're going to duck into some heavy foliage and try and lose you.
Okay.
Oh, 16.
Okay, you're able to keep track of at least one of them. But one of them, you break through the bushes. One of them is gone. One of them you see running off into the distance. And there, just through the trees, you can see a cabin. Just a log cabin, distant, built from rotted old logs. Broken shutters in the windows, an old roof of layered branches in disrepair. The door just hangs slightly off one hinge, creaking in the wind. There is no wind. It's pitch black within. Do you keep running, chasing after the one you can see?
The empty cabin's one of the monsters, isn't it?
Yeah, it very much is.
That was one of the ones they listed.
Yeah. If he's not running directly towards it...
Oh yeah, he's trying to run away from it.
Let's not go near them.
Yeah,
Okay.
give it a wide
You
berth
run
and run
after
after him.
You keep running after him. The two of you, as you're running behind, chasing after Scamp, you catch brief sight of it, but carry on. You run onwards. You're getting closer. You're gaining on him. You look forwards. There, in the distance, closer this time, an old rotted log cabin. You see him spot it, freak out, turn, and try to change direction to run away from it. Still running away from you as well, kind of like trying to split between the difference.
Right. I'm still singing.
Yeah, you're still singing.
Yeah.
Is Corzin managing to at least keep up?
I think you are just about keeping up, but you are kind of running behind a bit.
Okay.
Lieselot is with you. Not Lieselot, Elizabeth is with you. Kind of keeping pace with you with her similarly halfling-sized legs.
Okay.
I guess keep following him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me one last athletics check, everyone. She's trying to lose you one last time.
Oh, that's a 2.
11.
10.
You see he, with a last burst of speed, he charges ahead and breaks your sight, and you kind of run after his tracks before you just hear, "Ah!" You rush through. As you chase, you find a clearing. There is a man just tied to an old rickety chair. He looks dehydrated, desiccated, as if he was left somewhere to thirst to death. There is another figure you can just see nearby. Just poking out, you can see the boots of Sulian military issue boots, but it's bundled in an old bedsheet with a candlestick thrust through the figure's chest. You look up. Not 50 feet away, a cabin built from rotted old logs. The shutters are broken on the windows. The old roof of layers branches is in disrepair. The front door hangs slightly off one hinge, creaking in the wind. It is pitch black within.
In between anything I say, I'm going to carry on my song.
Yeah,
by the
you're
way.
still singing. Okay,
Yeah.
it's written.
Oh, we need to get the fuck out of here.
is the other one gone?
Yeah. Can we try and retrace our steps and find where the other one went?
Are you going to go... okay, are you going to go back and try and find it? Find them?
I think that's probably the best idea.
Okay, you turn around, you start retracing your steps. The moment you get through, you find yourself in the patch of wood behind with an old log cabin built from rotted old logs 20 feet away from you. The door swings on one hinge, creaking in the wind. There is no wind.
Okay, this is weird.
This is fucking weird. Again, I'm still singing in between.
Yeah, you're just like,
saying,
this is
what
fucking
shall we do
weird.
with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Just like casually underneath this whole conversation is going on.
If we look behind us right now, can we see the same thing where we came from?
How many of you look behind you?
Not all of us.
Okay, Corzin, you look behind?
I do too, I would.
Okay, Corzin and Celestia, you look behind. No cabin back there. Just the cabin in front of you, 20 feet away. You can...
I'm not liking this at all.
We're just here for the child. Take all of the soldiers you like. Just let us through to find the child.
Make a persuasion check.
Ooh.
Oof. So nearly a 20. 13.
The door swings open, and the pitch blackness seems to reveal, still dark inside, a room with a single-room cottage with a burnt-out old table in the centre, surrounded by toppled, broken chairs. Rusted, you can see there is a drawer which is open with rusted cutlery glimmering ominously. There's an old sort of clay oven, cracked, filled with unswept ash. The door creaks gently in the wind. There is no wind.
If we go in there, it's going to eat us, isn't it?
Oh yeah. No, this is a monster that once is dead.
Yeah, it's like, come into my mouth. That sounded worse than I intended it to, so let's just keep singing.
Step into my parlour, said the spider to the fly. Anyone? No.
Celestia's starting to run out of songs at this point, so when you mention fly, she goes, there was an old woman who swallowed a fly. We'll start with that one as the next one.
I can never remember how it ends. Other than the horse.
Perhaps she'll die.
Alright. Without actually entering the cottage, Corzin is going to move a little bit closer towards it to see if he can better see if there's anything living inside it.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Okay. Great, that's going to be a 9.
Okay. With a 9, you can see... You're the only one who's come up to look into it. You can see there's a very dirty, dusty, broken old house. Or old cottage. Everything's in disrepair.
Alright. Is there like an upstairs to this place, or is it
No,
all
it's a
on one
single
level?
room cottage.
Okay. So, I mean, it's not particularly obvious whether or not there's a person in there, but you know.
I mean, you can see into it. There's no one in there.
All right.
Seems
It's
to
an
be
empty
completely...
cabin, that's what they said. But Jimothy must have made a deal with it.
All right.
So maybe we can.
The only other thing in there is a cupboard, which is closed.
Is it big enough for a small child to be hiding in?
Conceivably, like it's a cupboard where you keep utensils, like, you know, standing things, that sort of, all manner of things. Maybe you could put some clothing in there. Like,
Okay.
There's a broken old bed in one corner.
I call out to Henri. Henri, are you in there? Nothing.
The cupboard just creaks slightly, but that's it.
Well, fancy that. She swallowed a cat.
Yeah.
This is literally happening the whole time.
Has anyone else looked into into it?
I'm going to have a look while I'm singing.
Give me an investigation check, because you're actually a bit closer this time.
20, dirty.
There is a small note, just a little bit of paper you can see tucked into the hinge of the cupboard door, which is closed.
There was an old woman,
Somebody
there's a
grab
note
that
in the
without going
cupboard,
in.
there's a note in the cupboard, there's a note in the cupboard. She carries on the song.
We're not coming in. If you want to negotiate, put something in the window.
There is another sort of... Give me another persuasion check. This thing has limited abilities to do things.
15.
There is a sort of rattling of the cupboard for a moment, and the note slips out and just sort of floats across the floor until landing just on the threshold of the house where the door is.
Alright.
I'm going to let somebody who's not singing read that, because
Yeah.
I feel like singing and reading at the same time is mental.
Okay, Corzin is going to... Actually, he's going to take the sling stuff and just use the end of it to pull the note out and then pick it up.
Pull the note, you open it up. There is a note in neat handwriting inside which says, "What does a house want?" And it's signed J.
Someone to make it a home.
Reasonable answer.
Again, there is kind of a creaking and a rumbling from the cupboard door.
1 creak for yes, 2 creaks for no.
The house is silent, apart from the gently swinging front door.
To be lived in.
Creak.
I keep singing, obviously.
Okay.
A house wants to be lived in.
We can't live in you, we've got shit to do. I keep singing.
Yeah.
Did you kill that man?
Creak.
If you wanted someone to live in you, then why did you kill them?
Complex rattling.
Maybe some sort of alphabet system. No, we haven't got time for that.
Again, the cupboard door is rattling like quite imploringly.
Can you open that?
Taken a child.
Creak, creak.
If we find you another soldier, will you just kill them?
No reply. The cupboard is not open, by the way. The cupboard is closed.
Yeah.
Creak, creak.
Be quite nice to have a house
Was
follow us
one for
around.
yes and 2 for no?
Yes.
Right. I carry on singing.
Alright.
Do you know where the child is?
Creak.
Where?
Can you show us?
Pause, then creak.
If we shut our eyes, will you move in the right direction?
No response.
How can you show us?
Complicated
Complex
rattling of the cupboard door.
Is the child in the cupboard?
Creak, creak.
Okay.
Are they nearby?
No response.
20 questions with a cabin in the woods.
If we come in, will you eat us?
Complicated rattling from the cupboard.
Right, well, we're not going in then.
Pause. Creak, creak.
Can I roll insight on a...
Yes, roll insight, please. Roll insight.
I'm not rolling insight, I'm too busy singing.
I super want to roll insight, even though
I think I'd
She
better.
swallowed a horse. She's dead, of course. Celestia.
it's a 12. If there's any
You
way-
feel like the cabin really wants something from you, and it probably relates to this cupboard in some way.
Days, you wish you took Mage Hand.
Does nobody have mage hands?
Nope.
No.
No one has made hand of this party.
I'm waiting to level up enough that I can get a new cantrip.
Could you do it with thaumaturgy?
Oh, I can open doors!
Oh
yes!
my God,
I'm gonna
yes!
try thaumaturgy!
Okay, you kind of focus your innate tiefling magic and the cupboard door swings open, and you can see there is a mop, several brushes, a bucket with water inside, some sponges.
Do you want us to clean up?
The door rattles, bang, once against the wall.
I
The
mean,
house wants us to clean it.
prestidigitation's gonna take a bit of time, but...
Fuck it, okay.
Okay,
If we do this for you, will you be able to show us where the child is?
bang.
You also promise not to eat us if we come inside.
Or
because I
kill
should be
us in
very
any
cross.
way!
Pause. Bang.
Okay.
Right, let's clean the fucking house then, I guess.
Okay.
Lots of prestidigitation happens.
Yeah, you grab it. Those of you without prestidigitation grab some brooms and the mop.
Friend!
Friend's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah. I think this is somewhere I can help.
I mostly do prestidigitation.
Yeah, friend starts.
Because you would if you had
Friend
that
actually
skill.
picks up the mop, so the full-on sorcerer's apprentice thing starts happening.
I was gonna
I
say,
pass a
yeah,
broom
like
to
this.
Jeffrey and see if anything happens.
I say to the house, can
Jeffrey
I get...
tries to eat the broom.
I say to,
Excellent.
I say to the house, can I get away with not singing while I'm in here?
Bang.
Oh, good. Okay, I need a minute. Right, let's do some cleaning.
Okay.
I'm running out of songs.
You spend surprisingly not that long, like maybe 5-10 minutes by the time you really get into it, especially with the aid of prestidigitation, everyone chipping in. Like you sweep the floor, you mop it, you find that your Scamp, if you're willing to take 10 minutes, you can even repair quite the broken table.
Yeah, if
Center.
we're hanging
Yeah.
around that long, I will.
Yeah, you sweep out the oven. Curiously, something weird happens because you swear that particular ritual takes 10 minutes, but it feels like it's done in maybe 2 this time.
Strange. Also, I guess, light a fire in the fireplace. It
Yeah,
seems
you
like a thing
sweep
we
out
should
the
do.
oven. You light a fire in it. With a sweep of prestidigitation, the cutlery goes from rusted to glimmering and clean, and then, with surprising little work, the little cabin is whole. The merry fire burns in the oven. There is the place looks light and clean and homely once again. And when you the moment you fix the door, there is a moment the door slams shut, the windows shut, the whole house reverberates for a moment. Window shutters open, door opens, and it's now pointing a different way through the forest.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's the direction then.
The front door, ding, just clatters once.
Will you not
Alright.
eat people now you're clean? Is that how it works?
Complicated rattling of the front door.
Right.
If we
I
can
don't
find
think we're-
someone to live here, we will.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Clatter. You depart the empty cottage.
Whiskey is the life of this again.
And pass.
I cast Mage Armor.
Yes!
Oh God, do that, Jesus.
I was just looking, seeing if I had anything useful, and yes, I do.
And you
Okay,
find the yourself heading onwards, and it doesn't take long before you find once again fresh footprints in the dirt. Corzin, give me a survival check, please.
Okay. That's a 9.
Bugger.
God damn it.
Okay. You continue following the tracks, but then they seem to cross and weave and turn back on themselves as if whoever was running managed to get lost and not back on their own tracks. And this continues for a good 10 minutes. You're not sure what's happening until you look up and you see, suspended from the trees, wrapped in silken cocoons, are human and halfling bodies, with just telltale scraps of blue fabric, pieces of musket silhouettes in the silk.
Alright, obvious question. Are any of them child-sized?
There are a number that are halfling sized, but looking up, they're definitely halfling rather than halfling child.
Yeah, because we're looking for halfling
Yeah, because you're looking for halfling child. There's no one that's like a a foot and a half tall.
Right, okay. Well,
is it
Brazil,
like
that
web,
is.
like spider web?
It's spider web,
Okay.
or rather, not almost. It's spider silk, but woven into cocoons rather than spun.
Okay. So it's different than what you'd see.
Slightly different. There's like
So
it's
it's the
as if
Weaving Widow.
as you look down, you can see there is a figure sat in an old wooden rocking chair. Scamp and Elizabeth will only see this. There is a figure tall, a little shorter than Celestia, with pitch black skin and long silver hair, and very elven-like features.
Is she a drow or?
Almost. You definitely believe she was. And you can see that she has long strands of spider silk, and she appears to be just crocheting them into patterns. But Corzin and Celestia, you can see stretching out behind her, almost seeming to mesh with the body in front, is a vast silvery spider with long strands of kind of glimmering, you can somehow tell, not really here, silk that stretch out in every direction.
Is this familiar?
For you, yes.
I thought so.
The Weaving Widow looks up. Well, it seems that there are a number of people traipsing around in the dark. Click, click, clicks of the crochet needles as she's working.
Yes, sorry to bother you. We're looking for a child.
Indeed. Such terrible business. I've always liked children. Enough that perhaps that little one won't see trouble from me. But you're not Jimothy's. Clap.
I mean, I am a child, if that helps.
Yeah, they are a child. We're just passing through. We don't want to bother you. We're just looking for the little one.
Celestia, you can make a religion check. Probably with advantage, given your background.
Well, we don't need advantage. That is a 21.
You know that these entities are very, very given towards caring about rank and position. They are very big on tribute, on feeling superior, on people subordinating themselves. Or at least that's been the way with the ones you've encountered.
We are, of course, very honoured to be in your presence. I wasn't expecting to come across one such as you on the surface. Very honoured indeed. Is there anything we could offer you in return for a peaceful trip through the woods?
She peers at you, and you see the head of the giant spider turn at the same time as her elven head does. There's something about you, something of one of my cousins. Tell me, were you ever graced by the presence of Utu?
I see, that would have been the one in my church, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, in fact, at some point in my future, it's possible I'll be a cleric of Utu.
It has been a long time. Of course, I had my disagreements with my cousins, but the clicking pauses for a moment. I do miss little keepsakes. If you had any of my cousins or their children's silk, perhaps?
Do I fucking have any drow silk?
This isn't a good time for people to check their inventories.
I feel like we did, but I really can't remember where from. I feel like that happened.
It was.
Do you not have some silken rope?
Huh? What were you going to say?
Do you not have some silken rope? Do you have it?
No, but I feel like we had some from
What's your
Thurling.
bow strong with?
What is my bow strong with?
I've got 50 feet of silk rope.
Your bow actually would be, because it is strong enough to serve, where ordinarily these bows could be strung with steel, but in this case, yes. Your bow is strung with Ariadne and silk.
Okay. 1 second, I say, and I take the bow off my back, where I never said I took it down, so I guess it's still up.
It's still up.
And I spend a couple of minutes, frankly, laboriously taking the bow
she just
down
sits
and putting
watches.
it back into pieces. I put it back in my bag. I hold out some.
She extends a hand, and you see a long, a long sort of spidery arm in spirit form follows it, takes it, and begins threading it into her crochet. Well then, I suppose my web will permit you to pass. She sighs for a moment. Do what you can to save the child. I do like children.
Do you have any idea where the child is?
She glances to one side, and you see the forest. The trees don't move, but it's as if the forest itself changes, as if you were looking at an optical illusion of things, of the same piece of territory wound around itself again and again, that uncoils. And now there's a not clear avenue, but there's like a path between trees leading on. You can just see signs of the glimmer of a campfire in the distance.
Thank you. It's been an honour.
Yes, it has. Give my regards to my cousin.
Your cousin being Utu?
She nods.
Right.
You carry on and move quickly through. As you step onwards, you can see and hear in the distance the sounds of argument and grumbling coming from this distant fire. And you can see up ahead there is a campfire with what look to be 10, upon closer inspection, figures there. You can see that there is a halfling in the centre who is wearing is the only one not wearing a uniform, but he does carry a carbine as well as a saber, and there are 8 of these. What's the word I'm looking for? Deserters, kind of clustered around the campfire, watching the trees, like in bluntly terror. But you can see that the halfling has his arm held tightly around the form of Henri, who is kind of vaguely struggling, but you get the feeling that Henri's quite tired.
Okay, I say to Lisbeth as quietly as I can, is that him?
Yes, that is Blanc.
Is he one to be reasoned with?
He is all about reason. I know what he wants. He wants this seal.
Right.
That's probably why he came here. All he wanted was... If he came here, all he wanted was to get to Jimothy so that he could muscle in on their lucrative trade.
So the fact that his wife and child were here meant nothing to him then?
Oh, right, are you...
Business partners. Business partners.
Oh, okay.
He liked to think of himself as a father figure for Henri, but we were not that way.
Alright. If this goes south then, I don't suppose I have breaking up a family on my conscience.
We should probably know now whether or not we're allowed to kill him.
I mean...
I'd rather not, but if it came
I
to
do not
it...
know. Blanc is a ruthless businessman, but...
He's threatening your child. By even being here, he is putting your child in danger.
You're right.
Okay, so that's
I am
settled.
not a murderer, but try to capture him if you can.
How much would it fuck you up to give him the seal?
If he gets my son back, that's the only thing that matters.
Right.
So let's try talking to him first, shall we?
Yeah.
Alright.
Celestia,
Yes.
you've got that thing where you can make everyone like you by singing for a while.
I can do that.
We have
Yes.
a really good excuse to sing for a while.
Yes, that's a fucking brilliant idea. Oh, I can only do 4 people.
I can get one of them.
Well, then make it him.
Mm-hmm.
Or make him one of them.
I can get him immediately when we get close.
Are we ready for another round? Whiskey is the life of man, running out of songs.
You begin proceeding very obviously. You're not going to sneak through on this occasion, but singing the song loudly. You can see the mercenary. I'm going to do
the enthralling performance thing, please.
Begin sort of like scrambling for their guns. They're kind of leveling them at you, but they're kind of relieved to see someone who's not a frigging monster charging out of coming out of the woods.
Oh, it's a wisdom save.
Okay.
Apparently, I'm not sure we did that with the fatlings because it was the first time I've ever done it. Okay, cool.
They did not have high wisdom.
Wisdom save, or they get charmed, basically.
Okay. So Henri and
him and
Blanc
the people who look most dangerous, preferably.
Okay. So you pick the 3 of the musketmen that you kind of imagine to peg as being the most capable, as well as Blanc, and they're kind of call it as they see you approach. Blanc calls out, "Halt! Who are you?"
Just here to talk. We've got to keep singing because it keeps the bird creature away.
I drink whiskey where I can. Whiskey for my Johnny.
Celestia's busy singing, and it takes a minute for this to happen.
Yeah, I'm singing this whole time.
So, Scamp, make a persuasion check. Because they obviously don't know that, based on the number.
Oh, it's only a 10.
Yeah.
So you do an insight check for Blanc. Seems to believe you. No drawing weapons! We have these. We have the guns here. If I see that man draw so much as an inch of steel, I swear we will shoot you all.
It's alright, we're a child, a musician, and a merchant. Other than that, you don't have to worry about us.
Speaking of merchants, Elisabeth Blanc. I have your son. He's alright, Tony. He's alright. And it will be alright. Tell me how to get to Jimothy. You need to use the... There's a magic around the town. Yes, I had worked that out from all the monsters. Here. You see as Elizabeth draws the heavy bronze seal out from her coat. This, if you have this, it will let you walk through. You'll be able to find the way. But please, release Henri, and you can have the seal. Give me the seal first. You've been singing. Let's just roll to see whether it's been a minute. Not quite been a minute yet. You're still...
I drink it hot, I drink it cold, whiskey.
On another subject, before we do, I know, sorry to interrupt all this, but there's a house that wants someone to live in it. Anyone open to that idea?
You see several of the deserters go, no, what? No, that is insane.
Well, see, the house isn't evil anymore because we cleaned it, so it just needs someone to make it a home. And
what the fuck is he talking about?
I drink it new, I drink it all.
Okay, and then they make the okay, Blanc seems to blink for a moment. All right, come to the campfire, release Henri. And cautiously, the three of you make your way to the campfire, and because he rolled a natural 1 on that wisdom save, does put Henri down and release him. Henri immediately runs over to his mother.
Do you really want to go to Jimothy? It's really not great there, you know.
the monsters just keep coming.
They do. They're in there.
You know they come out every night through a portal to your nightmares.
Fucking
it's not
horrifying.
fun.
Also, they sing far too much.
I'm going to start singing right now on that note if Celestia stops.
I'm going to say make a persuasion check. It's a straight check because on the one hand, charm, advantage. On the other hand, he really doesn't want to believe you.
Yeah. Oh, God. 15?
It may be dangerous, but there are other benefits. You're as old these years, we thought that it was dwarves that were providing your merchandise, Elizabeth. I would see a piece of that action. He kind of looks around. You can see, however, some of the mercenaries, specifically the three that you enchanted, are like, Boss, I hate this place. We should get out of
Is
here.
it really worth it?
So many. We have lost so many people already.
You have lost
You
a
have a good
lot
singing
of
voice,
people.
because if you don't, your lungs are going to get ripped out through your mouth.
Yeah, if you stop singing, they
Ah,
are going
la,
to
Fun
la,
fact
la, la, la.
on that note, because you two
La,
have both been
la,
singing,
la.
you just hear, and just a shadow reaches out. I'm going to roll an attack roll for it, and grabs one of the deserters. Not actually one of the. Well, I'll roll a quick d8. Not one of the ones that you enchanted, and drags him straight into the woods, into the darkness. Whiskey! There's the left of man. Whiskey.
I need to check whether enthralling performance is concentration or not.
Oh yes, 1 moment.
Because I have something I could do, but I need to check. Because it's different weighing it up.
Yeah. Let me get the page open.
Sorry, gang. I've got a load of notes on it, but I don't have whether it's concentration or not, so I just need to check. I don't think it is. I don't think this should actually affect it.
But there we go. Enthralling performance. This doesn't. Nope, doesn't say it's concentration.
Right, okay. So this thing has just come in
Yeah.
and torn his friend's fucking face off, yeah?
Actually, fuck, because that's the way it operates. They just tore out bottom of jaw, lungs, throat, the lot, and have left this now bleeding hole in the middle of him carcass.
So
You can see it's trying to scream, but has no physical ability to do so.
I'm going to look at him in the eye, and I'm going to
Blanc.
say, what was that?
Blanc.
Yeah, Blanc.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, you see, you really need to get as far away from here as possible. Put as much distance between you and this town as you can. You can see what's happening. It's not any better in the town. And I'm going to cast Suggestion.
Okay. I think he...
Okay.
Yeah, wisdom save. Already charmed, so... Let me just check.
I don't know if that's allowed. That's why I wanted to check.
Yeah. I just want to see... No, it's allowed. I just want to see if it gives him if he has disadvantage on the save or not.
It would make sense.
I don't know.
I'm going to check the spell description because, kind of makes sense, but I'm cautious of setting a precedent which might come to bite you in the arse later if
yeah. I mean,
an
up to
entity
you.
does this on you. Okay, wisdom save. I guess it won't become hostile if it fails. Just won't happen. Oh.
What is
Natural 20.
Fuck it.
Hello. Shakes his head. No, this we have no money left. The country is a shithole. This is the only way we can survive. I need Jimothy. Throw me the seal. Elizabeth.
Can I try casting something?
Yes, you can.
I'm going to cast Command.
Okay.
And just say, leave.
What command do you... So the command is leave. Okay. Wisdom save. And that was a 2.
Oh, good.
He kind of looks at you for a moment. Having dropped Henri, no sign of anything else. And just pegs it out of the firelight into the woods. You hear... What is that? Oh, shit! And several of the others immediately begin running.
Fucking sing stuff!
And they start breaking away. All 6 of the remainders. They start running towards you. You hear them individually singing, "Whiskey is the life of man. Whiskey! All the guys that like and doors it."
I think we need to go.
We need to run.
That's all it is.
By the way, I'm starting up singing again.
You start singing
Let's
again.
get out of here.
Yeah.
As you just start running.
Oh, the work was hard and the
Give
wages
me a survival check to try and find your way either.
Can I... Oh, no, I'm not strong. Someone else grab Henri.
Yeah, I can grab Henri. Survival check.
Henri. Yeah, give me a survival check.
Can we help?
Yeah, you can. If someone who's
do
not
I count
singing,
as busy singing?
someone
I
who's
count as
not
busy
singing, then I will ask you for a performance check.
Okay, anyone
27.
else rolling survival?
I'll help with survival.
Okay, right, I'll roll with advantage.
Yeah,
Yes.
I do, because I'm not good at survival.
Okay, 15.
Okay, and your performance check?
27.
27. Okay, you just keep this song going loud and clear. It takes you a moment to get your bearings because this forest literally weaves around itself. But Elizabeth presses the bronze seal into your hand, Corzin. Here, you'll need this to see the way. And you begin tracking, just trying to follow what would make sense normally. You feel like you're off to the west, so you need to head east towards. You can just see the distant signs of the glow in the sky of the sun beginning to maybe rise and start running towards Jimothy. It brings you through the same place where the partly towards where the musket men ran into, and you see 5 bodies hanging from the branches, nooses around their necks, stomachs slit open, and the entrails just missing. You can see, following on, you can see desperate running tracks, and there is the 6th man who is, you can see, has a noose which is halfway constricted around his neck, and he's just managed to pull it open. And you can see he has a slash, but not deep enough to disembowel him, just across his belly. It's bleeding profusely, and he's kind of literally holding his gut together, almost, it seems.
I'm going to ding my heel up on my xylophone and give him a healing
it
word.
stops the immediate bleeding, or at least staunches it.
He
looks
gonna
up.
Firebolt the rope, see if I can get him down.
Oh, he's no. The rope has fallen. He's on the ground.
That's fallen. Oh, sorry.
But actually, no, you're right. Actually, yeah, fuck it. We'll say that it was like that. He's just kind of holding on with one hand, trying to avoid choking. So you firebolt. He drops to the ground.
Oh shit! I didn't mean to. Oh, I've wasted that bloody thing.
What
that was
thing?
a damaging spell.
Did max damage? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, shit.
That was a magic thing. But,
Didn't
yeah.
mean to do that.
That's all right. Never mind. So that rope just burns. Blasts away. And you see.
Where'd he go?
He points up into the trees. You've got. He left me alive to bear a message. He told me to spread it as far as I can. Run! You've got to run. Run as fast as you can. It's the only way to escape him. The gallows man! And he straddles to his
Bugger
feet
that.
and begins running into the woods, singing desperate nursery rhymes under his breath, but just trying to get out of these woods as fast as he can.
Fuck.
We got to check and see if Fight is all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep singing.
We've got to get Henri home.
Yeah. You run back, and with the Jimothy seal in hand, the forest makes sense again. Like, it works like normal forests for you, Corzin, which you kind of suddenly realise it hasn't been up to this point. This forest has been weird and confusing up until you until you have this seal in your hand. And you managed to trek back to the edge of the town. You can see Fighty is kind of standing by the gate, but he has several kind of scratches and slashes on him. He looks like he's been in a fight, but like he comes up.
Run up to him.
Bastard
Fighty,
got
what
away!
happened?
Fuck. Is everybody else okay? Did he get anyone else
No,
here?
didn't go for anyone. Wrong accent.
French, yeah.
honey, didn't go for anyone else in the town. I get the feeling he couldn't. Probably something out there that's looking after the Jimothys. Get a good
He
shot.
didn't have a seal, he couldn't get in.
Well, he's gone out there now, and he points towards the woods.
Is he constrained by the same rules as everything else? Is he stuck in these woods?
I don't know. Maybe he can get out of the woods if he and work his way across land. If he can get to a town, he can probably stay there until a portal forms naturally. They often do, if only for a few minutes at a time. And if things from the Dreamfold can sense where they'll turn up, much better than I can.
Right.
How far could he have got? How long ago was he here?
He came out about an hour after the portal opened. Took a swing at me. I tried to stop him, chase him into the woods for a way until he managed to lose me. And I'm no good at tracking through woods. I came back here to make sure that try and stop anything else that might come out, in case anything else got as smart an idea.
Out of character question.
Yep.
Would Stringer Smith count as human or undead in his current form?
You do not know.
Okay. I was gonna try and track him using Hunter's Sense, but if he's not strictly speaking human, it won't work.
Worth a crack.
He's not even really undead anymore. He's a thing from dreams.
Yeah.
Just check the wording of that.
So, as you make your way through back in, Henri is being actually held by his mother. Elizabeth is holding on to him tightly. We're safe. Henri, it's okay. We are safe here. And look, she points up and you can see the light of dawn, the first rays of dawn have started to spill over the horizon, covering until just reaching over, and as they strike the gate, you see the multicolored portal fade, leaving only the stone archway beyond. You see, it is day. We'll be okay. Oh, Mama, I'm so scared. I'm so... Shh. She holds him to her chest. It will be okay.
What do we do? Do we track him?
Well, I'm passing Henri some sweets first before I do anything else.
And he kind of looks at his sweet and then sticks it into his mouth and sucks on it aggressively.
He should be easier to track during the daytime. And if we can get back here, and he can't, we've always got a place to retreat to.
True.
I think we need to talk to the Chanter, because we can't necessarily get back here without a token.
Elizabeth,
Also,
could we borrow your seal for a bit, if we can't get one?
Fighty kind of looks up. He won't be coming back here. Now that he's out of it.
Why?
Now that he's out into the forest, the Weaver won't let him. She's not likely going to let him get back towards the gate. If he wants to get back to the Dreamfold, which he'll need to do eventually, but if he's got food, he can survive for a time out here, especially if he's eaten people too. He's going to need to get to a settlement of some sort. City would be best, but a town will do.
Where's the nearest settlement to here?
Elizabeth comes in. That is the town at the bottom of the pass. When we get out, head down the mountain to Saint-Exupéry. And there, that would be the nearest town. It is where I have left my guards.
Right.
If the pass is clear enough and the remainder of the snow has melted, we should be able to head there during the day-to-day.
Well, I suppose if the snow hasn't melted, he's not got any further than that, has he? So that might be a good bet. Could we leave soon?
I have. Let me get my things from the inn, and I'm ready to go now. Come on, Henri. We will get our things, and they quickly run and do so. Fighty looks to the rest of you. Well, I'm as keen to get back to civilization as the rest of you, and away from this place.
Yeah, I don't like it here.
All right.
I always thought a town where everybody sung would be fun, but this was just sort of unnerving.
Sinister.
You gather your things together and head back into the woods with Elizabeth in tow. And as you do so, the woods are quiet and peaceful and serene by light of day. They don't have strange and confusing geography. Nothing attacks you. There's very calm and peaceful wildlife. And after an hour of travel, you're easily able to make it out of the woods to the edge of the pass where the valley rises up to one of the mountain passes. And you can just see some work has been done to shovel the pass out, but enough of the snow has melted there that you can see a way to travel through.
I can just chuck firebolts as well.
And yeah,
it gets a
easily
bit...
melt it easier. As you're stepping out, you find yourself crossing over to the very edge of this valley. Looking back down, you can see the whole valley just seems to be forest. Just a forested vale, no sign of the town of Jimothy. But
That's
at
bizarre.
Fucking hate forests.
At the very base of the ridge, you see a figure. Just there for a moment, and Hugh smiles and bows as you turn before you far too far away to really approach before you turn and carry on in an orange hat with a bright yellow bow and a purple long purple frock coat. Different facial features to Jimothy Chanter. Just takes his top hat off, bows, and as you turn and make your way out, the words of a song carry up through the air to the mountain pass. It's time now to leave, for our tale is done. A few words before you go. You've helped us a lot. We hope you had fun, and we just want you to know.
Thank you for playing along with our ways, strange as they may seem to you. Thank you for listening to our songs today. There's one last thing now to sing true. So as you depart to return to your quest, take one last message from me. Farewell, my friends, may you have fair seas and natural 20s. We've had fun in Jimothy, but we're done in Jimothy. It's time to return to our tale. But though you leave Jimothy, you'll carry some Jimothy in your heart and your song without fail. So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell will we fear, so come along with me, my